hit .307 for the Longhorns. Now Noah Campbell, an equally speedy guy on the base paths, although he will only DH tonight. The switch hitter batting left from South Carolina. He gets a pitch he likes too as he shoots it down the left field line, but foul. And it looks like we've had a lineup change here for the Gatemen. Jeremy Idens is out in left field, and it looks like Isaac Collins is in right. Quickly 0-2 now to David Hamilton. Excuse me, now the count to Noah Campbell out of South Carolina. 0-2 pitch is spoiled foul. Still 0-2. So Idens will play left field and Isaac Collins will bat eighth. Things now incredibly wonky on the Gatemen side. Luckily, I do my scorebook in pencil, otherwise this would have been an absolute disaster. 0-2 from Cavalli. Inside, 1-2 now. So Jeremy Idens, Sahid Valenzuela, that stays the same. So does Austin Shenton. But moving up into the clean-up spot, I should say, is Drew Millis, the catcher. 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2 now. So Drew Millis, the catcher from Missouri State, heads into the cleanoff spot. Meanwhile, Isaac Collins will replace him in the 8th hole. Collins getting his second start in a row in right field. This one hit on a couple of hops to the second baseman, Valenzuela, and his throw is in plenty of time for out number 2. Typically, Collins plays the middle infield. We've seen him pretty much exclusively at second base this season for the Gatemen, but now back-to-back games, we're going to see him in right field. Got the 9-run third inning going yesterday with a leadoff double. Came to the plate twice in that inning, reached both times, and scored 2 runs for the Gatemen. First pitch to Dashbach, misses up and away. 1-0 to the dangerous right-hander out of Stanford. Right-hander Cavalli has looked good so far. 1-0 to Dashbach. Misses low, 2-0 now. Apparently, they're going to say that Dashbach went around on a check swing. 1-1 the count now to the right-handed hitting first baseman from Stanford. 1-1 pitch, outside, 2-1. Dashbach hitting .378 this season. This is his 15th game with the YD Red Sox. 17 hits, 6 doubles, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 6 walks, 14 strikeouts. 2-1 is swung on and hit high and fairly shallow into into left field. Jeremy Idens races in and makes the play for out number 3. YD goes 1-2-3 in the top of the first. The Gatemen come to the plate, trying to break a scoreless tie when we come back on WCTV. Bottom of the first inning from Spillane Field. No score here on WCTV. Gatemen getting their first hacks today at the left-hander out of Michigan, Tommy Henry. The first pitch from him to Jeremy Idens, now playing left field, is swung on and missed for a strike, 0-1. Henry, a 2.25 ERA this season on the Cape. Only appearance he's made is that start against Wareham in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. 4 innings, 2 hits, a run, it was earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Looked stellar at Red Wilson Field on last Sunday afternoon. Now getting his second start of the season on another Sunday against the same Gatemen. 1-1 is low now, and it's 2-1 to Idens, who had himself a pretty good day yesterday. 1 for 4, an RBI, and a run scored. All but one Gateman that came to the plate yesterday had an RBI. 2-1. Waved on a miss, 2-2 now. Isaac Collins did not drive a run in, but he was absolutely crucial in getting the inning started and keeping the inning going. A double and a walk in that third inning, that 9-run third. 2-2 to Idens. Low, 3-2 now. Looking at Henry's numbers this season at Michigan, a 3.09 ERA, 15 starts, 71 hits, 27 runs, 28 earned runs, 27 runs, 26 walks, and 77 strikeouts. 3-2 though to Jeremy Idens, misses low. He's on with a leadoff walk, and here comes Sahid Valenzuela.
From Cal State, Florida.
Valenzuela, another guy that batted twice in that 3-run ninth yesterday. 9-run third. 3-run ninth would have been much more apropos, much more normal, although 2 runs did come across the score in the ninth on the Pavin Parks homer. Valenzuela yesterday, 1 for 4, a run and 2 RBIs. He shot an error as well. This pitch to him here is waved on a miss. Nice slider from Tommy Henry. 0-1. Valenzuela had a stellar season this year at Cal State Fullerton. 270 average, 14 doubles, 2 triples, 20 RBIs, 35 runs scored, 5 stolen bases, good speed. That was a pretty good year for him in a very competitive Big West and a very competitive Cal State Fullerton team, but his numbers as a freshman were even better. He hit .315 last season as a freshman out of Yuma, Arizona. Big West Freshman of the Year, as well as all Big West first team honors for him. 1-1 the count to him here as the pitch misses low. 2 balls and a strike now. This one swung on and hit right on a line to the shortstop, David Hamilton. Makes a nice play, moving from left to right from our vantage point up here in the left field booth. There's one down now for Austin Shenton. We'll go ahead and give you the defense here for YD. At third base, Nick Quintana. Shortstop, David Hamilton. The second baseman tonight, Christian Consson. At first base, Andrew Dashbach. In the outfield from left to right, Quinn Cotton, Johnny DeLuca, and Reese Albert, with Vito Friscia behind the plate. First pitch to Austin Shenton, misses upstairs. 1-0, and what else is new? Austin Shenton with a multi-hit day yesterday. Went 2 for 6 with a pair of doubles and 2 RBIs. Also scored 2 runs both times he reached base, and it was a lot of hard-hit balls even when he wasn't reaching. Lined out hard to left field. to third base in one at bat on a leaping grab by Davis Wenzel, and then 2 long fly balls to left field in the other 2 at bats. So Austin Shenton continues to rake against every team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. He has been stellar thus far this season. He's been the best hitter on the best team in the league. Suppose this early in the season you could make an argument for him as the MVP of the league. One of the better hitters statistically in the CCBL. He's in a hitter's count here, 2-0 from the left-hander Tommy Henry. That one hits the outside corner for a strike, 2-1 now to him. Good pitch from Henry. Well-located fastball. Austin Shenton, the top average on the Cape this season, 4.07 coming into this game. Fouls this one off toward Wareham Middle School, 2-2. Looky here, looking at the leaders in the league. Home run leader is still Andrew Vaughn, tied with Spencer Torkelson, both of whom are now with Team USA, although tied for third place is Bryant Packard with 3 home runs on the year. Todd Lott in second with 4. He hit one last night against the Gatemen. The Hyannis Harbor Hawk out of Louisiana Lafayette, and the 2-2 rings him up. Outer half fastball. Shenton didn't like the call, but he is down on strikes for out number 2. First strikeout of the day for Tommy Henry, left-hander from Michigan. In-state product from Portage, Michigan. Went to Portage Northern High School. Here come the lineup changes here for the Gatemen, and now they're going to have some heat. Valenzuela caught in a rundown. Or excuse me, that's Jeremy Idens moving from first to second. Andrew Dashbach just started throwing the ball before it was even in his glove. It falls out. We'll have to see how they score, but up to second nonetheless is Jeremy Idens. It looked like they were going to have him caught, as it was a good pickoff move from the left-hander Henry. Had it read all the way, but Jeremy Idens lucky to get in. First pitch to Drew Millis, the switch-hitting catcher, batting right, is waved on and missed. 0-1. Millis didn't play yesterday, so didn't get to be a part of the hit parade for the Gatemen, although they were out-hit by the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. 17 runs, as we mentioned, come across to score for the Gatemen. Absolutely stellar offensive showing. 241 this season for Millis as he's down 0-2 here. Only 1 extra base hit, a double at McKeon Park on Tuesday night. Part of a 9-1 loss for the Gatemen. He's had 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, on base percentage at .333, so not terrible, but certainly not up to his standards considering how well he hit this season with the Missouri State Bears. An incredible year for him down in Missouri. 1-2 outside to him, now 2-2. He hit .325 this season. First team All-Missouri Valley Conference. 13 doubles, 2 triples, 7 home runs. Slugging percentage at .507. The OPS up in the low 900s at .925. 2-2 swung on, hit hard toward the hole. David Hamilton has a tough time coming up with it. So on at first is Drew Millis. We'll also have to see how they scored that one. Still no indication as to what they scored. Idens advancing to second. They will score an E3. So Idens up to second on the E3. Now we'll have to wait and see what they scored. Drew Millis's reaching base will almost certainly be an error against David Hamilton there at short, but nonetheless runners at the corners with 2 outs for Lyle Lockhart Jr. Lockhart out of Houston reached base 5 times yesterday. Pair of walks. He was hit by a pitch. Also had 2 base hits. Very productive outing for him as he tries to find his way in this Gatemen lineup. After the 2 hits yesterday, average up to 250 on the season. And game number 9 for him here. Another pickoff attempt over, but nothing doing. 6 hits, a home run. That came against YD in game number 1 of the doubleheader. On Sunday, 5 RBIs, 6 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The on-base percentage, though, very impressive, .438, considering he's hitting just .250. 1 fouled off, now 0-2 to him as he tries to drive in the runner from third in Jeremy Idens. To the count, 2 outs here, bottom of the first. Gatemen threatening to break open a scoreless tie from Spillane Field here against the YD Red Sox. The pitch from Henry to Lockhart is fouled off over the first base seats. Still 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Henry, still waiting to come as they throw over again and check on Drew Millis at first base. This is something the Gatemen have done well all season long. Been able to run up pitch counts quickly on opposing starters. Already 23 pitches in the inning for Tommy Henry. 2-strike pitch to Lyle Lockhart, beautifully located on the outer half for a called strike 3. The Gatemen leave runners at their corners in the bottom of the first inning. Still no score as we head to the top of the second here on WCTV. Top of the second inning from Spillane Field. Still no score between the top teams in each division. The Western leading Wareham Gatemen and the East Division leading Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. 4, 5, 6 due up here against Cade Cavalli. In the second for YD, Quinn Cotton, Reese Albert, and Johnny DeLuca. Cotton at 298 this season on the Cape. 1-1 the count to him here. After a stellar season at Grand Canyon where he hit 390 for the Grand Canyon University Lobes. At 298 this year on the Cape against some of the best pitching he's probably ever seen, as Cavalli completely misses there. He's got 17 hits, and this is 17th game of the season. 3 doubles, a triple. No home runs yet, but he does have some power. 7 RBIs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So the on-base numbers aren't stellar for the right-hander Cotton, at least in comparison to what he's able to do with the bat. You typically like to see your on-base percentage a little bit higher than just 15 points more than your batting average, but the 2 walks will do that to you. 3-1 fouled off down the right field line. Isaac Collins gives it a look, but it's well out of play. After all that defensive shifting for a lineup we didn't know was coming, let's give you the outfield here for the Gatemen. Jeremy Idens in left, Skylar Hunter in center, and Isaac Collins out in right. The infield for Wareham, Shenton, Kreidler, Valenzuela, and Lyle Lockhart. Payoff pitch to Cotton, misses upstairs. It's a leadoff walk. The right-handed hitting left fielder from Grand Canyon. That will give way to Reese Albert, the right fielder from Florida State. Albert, a home run the last time these teams met. 3-run home run in game number 2 in the 6th inning off of Tyler Kaiser. He's finished up his freshman season at Florida State. First pitch to him here is a nice pitch on the outer half. 0-1. Albert hit .268 this year for the Seminoles and as a freshman. 42 hits, 8 doubles, 7 home runs. So there is some pop in his bat, and the pickoff attempt works to perfection. Cavalli 1-3 on the putout. Erases Quinn Cotton. And now instead of a runner on with nobody out, it's nobody on with 1 out. It's only the 2nd time this season we've seen a successful pickoff attempt in a Gateman game. A couple of nights ago in Hyannis, the Harbor Hawks picked off Drew Millis at first, but that's the first time we've seen it successful for the Gatemen. A wonderful move from the right-hander Cavalli. Doing battle here with Reese Albert, who's hitting .407 on this season with the YD Red Sox. Went 3 for 3 yesterday. 0-2. Waved on a miss. Nice pitch from Cavalli. Good run on the fastball. His first strikeout of the day. And now there's 2 gone for Johnny DeLuca.
Center fielder number 16, Johnny DeLuca from Oregon.
DeLuca out of Oregon, another guy that hit a home run in that doubleheader for the YD Red Sox. First pitch to him here misses up and away. 1-0. DeLuca's home run, though, came in the game number 1 loss for YD. A solo home run. Out of the 9-hole in that game, back in the 6th inning against the right-hander Cody Carroll. Too low to him here. This is inside. Now it's 3-0 quickly. DeLuca, the switch hitter out of Oregon, hit 6 home runs this season for the Ducks. Freshman record. But he did struggle to hit for average, just .212 this season in a very competitive Pac-12. 5 doubles, 6 home runs, 32 RBIs, 24 runs, 18 walks, 28 strikeouts. Also with some good speed with 6 stolen bases. Hitting .212 again right now for the YD Red Sox. This one slashed up the middle and into center field, a base hit Ryan Kreidler loses his sunglasses on the outfield grass as he tried to make a diving stop. Made a wonderful stop yesterday to rob Hyannis Harbor Hawk of extra bases, but can't get this one as DeLuca is on at first with a 2-out single. Situation could be a whole heck of a lot worse here for the Gatemen. As Quinn Cotton reached on a leadoff walk, but then was picked off 1-3 by Cade Cavalli. So instead of runners at first and second with just 1 out, it's just a runner at first here with 2 outs. First pitch to Quintana is a called strike on the outer half, 0-1. Third baseman out of Arizona struggling this season on the Cape, just 195 below the Mendoza line here in his 15th game of the year. Another throw over, but back in headlong is Johnny DeLuca. 8 hits, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs, 6 walks, and 15 strikeouts for Quintana. The reason he's so low in this lineup, and it's really kind of baffling that he's hitting this poorly. Hit .313 this year at Arizona, and again, that tough Pac-12 conference. Good stop behind home plate from Drew Millis. And he played with YD last summer as well, hit 6 home runs in 37 games. We have yet to see that pop from him this year. 8 hits, and as we mentioned, only 2 of them for extra bases, and both of them only doubles. 1-1 the count to him here. Spoils one foul toward his own dugout, 1-2. This is a guy that, if he does get things turned around, can be one of the more dangerous hitters on the Cape. Although now 18 games in here for YD, playing their 18th today. Played almost every day. It still hasn't found his way. Still hasn't found his groove quite yet. Lazy pickoff attempt over now from Cade Cavalli. Certainly nothing doing there. Still 1-2. 2 outs in the top of the second. No score from Spillane Field. Another pickoff attempt. This one a little bit closer, but still no harm done here for YD after they were already picked off once to get this inning going. Ball and 2 strikes, the pitch. Outside and low for a ball, 2-2. Cavalli stares into Millis, trying to be done with this YD top of the second. Tough hitter in Quintana at the plate, misses way inside. Now the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Christian Koss, the second baseman from UC Irvine, would be next. Payoff pitch from Cavalli. Popped up foul, back over the press box behind home plate. Stays alive at 3-2. Quintana out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and Arborview High School. 2016 Nevada Gatorade Player of the Year, so pretty big hotbed of baseball talent in the Las Vegas area, and in his class, Quintana was the very best. 3-time All-State selection. It was a pretty high draft pick in 2016, 11th round pick of the Red Sox. But decided to forego the MLB, at least for that time, and decided to head to Tucson and have some fun at the University of Arizona. Numbers have been good for him thus far. 293 as a freshman, 313 as a sophomore. Just continuing to build that draft stock, although it might be sliding a bit here, considering his poor hitting in the Cape League so far. 3-2 again. Misses up above the belt. Another walk here for Cade Cavalli, second issued in the inning, and this one coming with 2 outs. So now runners at first and second for a pretty good hitter in Christian Koss. Cost out of UC Irvine, 270 this season for the YD Red Sox. 10 hits, a double, so mostly everything has been a single or a walk this season for Cost. He's got 2 walks on the year. First pitch to him here is fouled off, 0-1. Cost hit 287 this season for UC Irvine. 52 starts, 56 hits, 9 doubles, 3 triples, a home run. So not a ton of power for him. 17 RBIs, 25 runs, 14 walks, 44 strikeouts. Odo on the count to him here from Cade Cavalli. Nice looping breaking ball that started up at the letters but dropped in right at the belt for a called strike, 0-2. Koss showed a lot of improvement this year at Irvine. They're hitting just 180 as a freshman. Batting average jumped 107 points for him. Cavalli's going to step off, step back on, compose himself here. He knows he needs to throw a good pitch to retire Koss. 0-2. Spoiled foul toward the YD dugout. We'll do it again at 0-2. Last night's 17-run affair for the Gatemen pushed the game to a 3-hour and 38-minute mark. Went from 5:59 to 9:37. 0-2 is waved on and missed. Millis picks it out of the dirt. Doesn't even have to tag Koss, and the side is retired. So Cade Cavalli strands 2 here for the YD Red Sox. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Gatemen trying to break this game open. It's 0-0 on WCTV. What? Sorry, folks. Apparently a foul tip. Christian Koss stays alive. Sure looked like Drew Millis picked it out of the dirt. I apologize there. Now a double steal is on as he swings and taps one to the left side or the right side for Sahid Valenzuela. Now the inning is over on the 4-3 putout. What I said still stands. Cade Cavalli still strands 2. Still no score. The Gatemen still coming to bat in the bottom of the second. Coming up on WCTV. Six, 7, 8. Parks, Kreidler, Collins due up for the Gatemen in the bottom of the second inning after a zany end to the top half. Gatemen trying to break this game open. Still a scoreless tie here from Spillane Field. Between the top team in the East and the top team in the West here on the Cape. First pitch to Parks. Misses outside, 1-0 to the left-hander from Kent State. Had a home run yesterday in the 9th inning off of the second baseman, Braden Como, who would come in to pitch in a blowout victory for the Gatemen. But you'll get your power started any way you can. Doesn't matter who you're hitting against. Trying to get Parks going here in his 5th appearance of the season with the Gatemen. 2-0 the count to him here. Pretty good hitter's count for him. Slashes one foul, 2-1. He's at 273 through 4 games. In one of those games, he did not hit. So really through 3 games in terms of his batting numbers. 3 hits, a home run, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. He's also scored 3 runs. 2-1. Swung on, hit to the right side. Dashbach loves it backhanded to the pitcher covering. 3-1 on the putout for out number 1. So Paven Parks is down on a softly hit ground ball to the right side of the infield. Ryan Kreidler now, the shortstop from UCLA, strides in to bat from the right side. Ito Freesia going out and having a chat with Tommy Henry, at least momentarily. Kreidler at 240 this season. This is 9th game of the year. 6 hits, 2 doubles, 6 RBIs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Got off to a red-hot start and has seriously cooled off since then. Although he did play pretty well yesterday for the Gatemen. A couple of runs batted in for him. Kreidler yesterday 1 for 5, 3 RBIs. Also scored a run. A double for him in the 6th. Played at 2 of his 3 RBIs. Also had an RBI in that crazy 3rd inning where the Gatemen scored 9 runs. 1-1 to him here now. And this is kind of what we expected, or at least what the numbers had told us for Kreidler. Had a great freshman year at UCLA, but then struggled here in his sophomore season with the Bruins. 233 average this year. He just couldn't find his stroke here in 2018. We thought he might have found it here on the Cape with those early impressive early appearances for him, but he has struggled to find consistency here against some of the best pitching in the country. Facing Tommy Henry here, the 2-1 pitch to him misses low, and now it's a hitter's count, 3-1 to Ryan Kreidler. Three balls and a strike to pitch. Swung on, hit right toward the 3rd baseman, Quintana. Throw over in plenty of time for out number 2. Pretty nice play there from Quintana. Took a big high hop, but right into his glove. There's 2 down for Isaac Collins, the switch hitter batting right. A late addition to this Gatemen lineup. This originally the spot of Drew Millis, who has since moved up to the 4-hole. And really, Collins comes in to replace Bryant Packard, who is getting the night off tonight. First pitch to him here, outside corner, called strike. A little bit low from up here, but nonetheless, it's 0-1. Collins out of Maple Grove, Minnesota. 2 runs scored yesterday. Both coming in that 9-run 3rd inning. Went 2 for 4 with those 2 runs scored. Doubled in the 3rd in his first at-bat from the left side, from the right side he doubled. Then walked from the left side, and then singled again from the left side in the 8th. Had himself a great day, was our player of the game on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Somebody who really hasn't seen too many starts in now back-to-back days. He'll be getting a starting spot in right field, and as we mentioned, typically a middle infielder, although through 2 games as he swings and misses at strike 3, we still haven't seen him have a ball hit to him. 3rd strikeout of the day for Tommy Henry as the Gatemen go 1-2-3 in the 2nd. We're headed to the top of the 3rd where maybe, just maybe, a ball actually will be hit to Isaac Collins when we come back on WCTV. got a scoreless tie here at Spillane Field between the Wareham Gatemen and the YD Red Sox. Top of the third inning, it'll be 9-1-2 for YD, with Vito Freesia, the catcher from Hofstra, leading it off for the Red Sox against Cade Cavalli. First pitch in to Freesia is a called strike, 0-1. Freesia had a stellar season at Hofstra this year, and he's had a pretty good year on the Cape as well. 333 in 8 games played so far. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Been a bit of a situational guy this season for YD. He skies 1 foul, 1-2. This season at Hofstra, though, he hit .353. First team All-Colonial Athletic Conference, or Athletic Association, I should say. All-CAA. OPS was up in the mid-900s. 945 this season for Freesia. 5 doubles, a triple, and 7 home runs in terms of extra base hits. 31 RBIs, 28 runs. The walk-to-strikeout ratio is pretty darn good. 22 walks to just 33 strikeouts, Came in as a defensive replacement in the first game of the doubleheader against YD. 2-2, waved on and missed. Nice pitch from Cade Cavalli. He continues to shine here. Second strikeout of the day for the right-hander out of Oklahoma. Now it's the top of the order again in David Hamilton. Cavalli, a two-way guy out of Oklahoma. 7.00 ERA this season for him with the Sooners, but they are looking to transition him away from being a two-way guy and toward being one of the better starters on the Oklahoma team come next season. Some even say he might be the Friday night starter for Oklahoma. A lot of talent, a lot of potential, a pretty big frame. There's another pitch to David Hamilton. Is swung on and slapped right at Lyle Lockhart. And how about a nice nifty play from the Houston first baseman. 3 unassisted on the putout. There's 2 gone for Noah Campbell. Cavalli stands 6'4", 224 pounds. And he's really just getting back into competitive baseball for the first time since his junior year of high school. Missed the majority of his senior season in high school with a back injury. So this is first year back at Oklahoma and his first summer back here on the Cape with the Gatemen. Played the 2017 summer season. Pittsfield Suns of the Futures League out in the western part of the state. Pittsfield, Massachusetts, out in the Berkshires. 1-0. Fouled off the foot apparently of the left-handed hitting Noah Campbell. 1-1 the count to him here. He's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to the second baseman Valenzuela back in the first inning. Campbell's average is great thus far, .355, and this is his 10th game of the season for the YD Red Sox, and he's improving on a season where he hit just .270 as a freshman in the SEC with South Carolina. Out of Durham, North Carolina. Cardinal Gibbons High School, one of the better prep schools in the Carolina region. 2-1. Outside and high, now 3-1. Campbell's got baseball in his blood. His dad, Darren, played college baseball for the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and played for 3 different organizations in the minors. He fouls another one off his leg here. And 2 strikes to him. And really all the members of Noah Campbell's family are athletes. His sister Chloe will compete in gymnastics next season for William and Mary, another CAA school, coming back to Vito Freesia, the catcher from Hofstra. Pitch here to Campbell is waved on and missed. Nice breaking ball in the dirt gets Campbell to chase. Third strikeout of the day for Cade Cavalli, and he is through 3 scoreless. We are headed to the bottom of the third here on WCTV. Still no score. Skylar Hunter leads off the bottom of the third inning here for the Gatemen, trying to break a scoreless tie from Spillane Field. Wareham nodded, with the YD Red Sox here on Wareham Community Television. First pitch to the right-hander, the switch hitter batting right, Hunter. This is upstairs, 1-0. Had a double, drove in a couple of runs yesterday, and a dominant 17-4 win for the Gatemen over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Still trying to break himself out of a slump here, hitting 140 this season. This is 18th game, 8 hits and 57 at-bats, the most on this Gatemen team, 3 more than Austin Shenton. 2-1 to him here. This is below the knees. 3-1 now. Top of the order, and Jeremy Idens waits on deck here. Gatemen, as we mentioned, trying to break this scoreless tie. Pitch to Hunter is fouled off. 3-2 now, full count. Perhaps the most befuddling part of this all for Hunter, the fact that he has struggled so mightily here, is that he hit .333 as a sophomore this season at Purdue. 78 hits, 13 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run. Strikes out swinging. Continues to struggle. 4th strikeout of the day for Tommy Henry.
From UCLA.
Now Jeremy Iden strides in. Walked and was stranded at third base back in the first. Gatemen still have not put together a hit here against Henry, although they did have the best scoring chance of the day, with Idens moving up to third on a walk and a couple of errors by the YD fielders in the first inning. 2 errors against the Red Sox back at inning number 1. First pitch to Idens this time around, breaking ball that misses outside. 1-0 to the UCLA right-hander. Second season of Summer League baseball for him. Played with lacrosse in the Northwoods League last year at .240. Followed that up with a stellar season this season for the Bruins in Westwood. .353. The OPS was absolutely magnificent. Up near 1,000. 16 doubles, 4 triples, and 6 home runs for a .559 slugging percentage for Jeremy Idens this year at UCLA. The numbers continue to come here on the Cape. .326 and a .385 on base percentage for him. 2-1. Not sure if that was foul tipped or just clipped off the glove of Vito Frecia on the way by, but nonetheless, it's now 2-2 to Jeremy Idens. One gone in the bottom of the third inning. Gatemen, as we mentioned, trying to break a scoreless tie here from Spillane Field. Pitch to Idens. This is inside. 2-2 now to the right-hander. Out of Campbell, California, in St. Francis High School. Same high school as one of the YD Red Sox, Andrew Martinez, not in the starting lineup today, although we did see him in in both games of the doubleheader. We'll have to see if he comes in at some point as a defensive replacement or maybe a pinch hitter. 2-2 inside. So a walk to Jeremy Idens. Gatemen are in business with a runner on at first and just one out here for Zahid Valenzuela. Valenzuela 0 for 1 today, lined out to the shortstop David Hamilton back in the first inning. Switch hitter batting right against the left-hander Henry out of Michigan. Henry's looked great through 2 1/3 innings now. He's yet to give up a hit. No runs or strikeouts for him. First pitch to Valenzuela, called strikeout or half, 0-1. Bit of a Swiss Army knife is Valenzuela. We've seen him at shortstop this season for the Gatemen, seen him at second base. Played mostly shortstop this season for Cal State Fullerton. As Hank Lafort played second base for the Titans. But in high school, he played shortstop, second base, third base, and center field. So he is a versatile player coming out of a different St. Francis high school than Jeremy Idens and Andrew Martinez. Quickly 0-2 to him here. Idens with decent speed on at first. Saw him steal a base yesterday on what could have been a double steal. Runners at the corners, and Gatemen just decided to move one man up and maybe induce a throw down, allow Isaac Collins to score from third. Ionis decided not to, so Idens picked up the stolen base. He will go off here. Looks like the hit and run was on as Valenzuela taps one fair down the third base line. Call coming in late from the home plate umpire, but Valenzuela finds himself on first with an infield single, and now there's runners at first and second for Austin Shenton. That's the danger of letting one roll down the foul line. If it does indeed stay fair, it's plenty of time for the runner to reach first. Reached at a pitch out of the zone. Looked like the hit and run was on, so Valenzuela had to swing either way. Certainly wasn't a comfortable swing, but nonetheless, it looked like a line drive into center field in the scorebook. First pitch from Henry to Shenton is hammered down the left field line and in for a base hit. Idens being waved around third. He will score standing up. It's an RBI single for Austin Shenton and a 1-0 Gatemen lead. So the hit and run becomes ever more important here as Idens easily able to score from second base. Would have been a little bit more difficult for him to score from third had Valenzuela not been able to reach. Now the hit and run works to perfection. Helps Idens along. Another RBI for Austin Shenton. His RBI 12 on the year. Now ties him for the team lead with Jeremy Idens. First pitch now to Drew Millis is swung on and hit to second base, onto the shortstop covering second for one out and on to first for the double play. So Millis on the first pitch he sees grounds out 4-6-3 on the double play. But the Gatemen do push one across on an RBI single from Austin Shenton. We are headed to the top of the fourth inning. A 1-0 lead for the Gatemen on WCTV. Cade Cavalli back to the mound for his 4th inning of work, but now protecting a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. JD Rachi here with you on WCTV, bringing you another Wareham Gatemen home game as the first pitch to Andrew Dashbach misses inside. Probably a bit high as well, 1-0 to the first baseman from Stanford. 0 for 1 today, fly out to left field, and Jeremy Idenson his first at bat, and now Cavalli misses inside and it plunks him on the shoulder. Mentioned Cavalli has had some troubles locating and commanding the fastball. That has been the issue for him this season. 6 walks coming into today, 2 walks in the last inning, or excuse me, 2 innings ago, and now he hits Andrew Dashbach with a pitch, and despite it hurting, at least the YD Red Sox are in business, down 1-0 here. When Cotton coming to the plate. First pitch from Cavalli to Cotton is swung on and hit into the right center field gap, and it will get down for a base hit. Skylar Hunter coming up throwing, trying to pick off Andrew Dashbach, but he moves all the way up to third on a single from Quinn Cotton. There are runners at the corners, and still nobody out for the Red Sox. That's the first time that Isaac Collins has even seen a ball remotely hit near him. But a smart heads-up play from Hunter to say, hey, I'll take this one. It's a little bit in between us. Center fielder takes charge, especially with a guy next to him that doesn't have a ton of experience in the outfield. Did play a couple of games in right and left field last season for the Duluth Huskies of the Northwoods League, but traditionally a middle infielder. Infielders at double play depth now against Reese Albert. First pitch to the left-hander from Florida State misses low, 1-0. Albert 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging in the second. That's the kind of out that Cade Cavalli wants to produce here. Because even if there were a double play, Dashbach would come in to score from third. 1-0, Cavalli steps off. Takes a pickoff attempt both ways, but nothing doing either side. Albert now 11 for 28 on the Cape. Soft throw over to first, to say the least. Still nothing doing. Trying to keep Quinn Cotton on it first. The situation the Gatemen found themselves in yesterday. Cotton might be off to the races. Pitch to Albert is swung on, hit to the right side of the infield. Valenzuela has a tough time coming up with it, and he can. It eats him up. Scoring from third is Andrew Dashbach. Reese Albert drives him in. It's now 1-1 here in the 4th. So we'll have to see how they score it, but for now, Reese Albert definitely picks up an RBI, even if it is scored an error against Valenzuela. But that's a tough play either way. The bounce ate him up. Now runners at first and second, still nobody out here for the YD Red Sox. Johnny DeLuca at the plate, center fielder from Oregon. Quinn Cotton at second, Reese Albert at first. First pitch from Cade Cavalli. Fastball outside. 1-0 to DeLuca, who is 1 for 1 today with a single. He'll scored an error against Sahid Valenzuela, E4 on the error, but still an RBI for Reese Albert. This probably slows the work rate down here. Working out of the stretch with a runner in scoring position in Quinn Cotton. Now it's a 1-1 ball game. There's a strike to Johnny DeLuca. Now 1-1. DeLuca struggled both at Oregon this season and has struggled thus far on the Cape. Lays down a bunt here. Drew Millis tries to pick it up. It's a fair ball. He tried to barehand it. Throw down to first is not going to be in time. So DeLuca, a bunt single. See if they score that an error against Millis, because he could have grabbed it with the glove, made it a bit harder on the bare hand. But now the bases are loaded with still nobody out for Nick Quintana. It's either going to be a bunt single or the second error of the inning against the Gatemen. They are going to say it is an error, E2, against Drew Millis. So back-to-back fielding blunders have the YD Red Sox in business here. Already one run across the score in this inning. They'll try to make it at least two. With the right-handed hitting Quintana at the plate. One plate appearance today and a walk for him. First pitch to him this time around is swung on foul back straight into the chain link fence behind home plate. 0-1. This is the perfect opportunity for Quintana to kind of get back into the groove of things. As we mentioned, had such a stellar season this year at Arizona. Hit over 300, but really struggling below the Mendoza line, below 200 this season here on the Cape. Nice pitch, breaking ball, located on the inner half for a called strike, 0-2. A strikeout here would do wonders for Cade Cavalli. Not only would it give him a little bit of confidence, but it would also set up an opportunity where a double play to any bases in the next at-bat would end the inning. Quintana spoils the 0-2 off foul, and the count holds. Beautiful day for baseball here at Spillane Field. A little bit warm. Temperatures climbing into the 90s for the first time this summer. But still, baseball being played here. Pretty good baseball thus far for both teams. Cavalli 0-2 against the right-hander Nick Quintana in the batter's box. Pitch from Cavalli is swung on, rocketed into right center field. Isaac Collins back, but Skylar Hunter will make the play. Tagging from third and in to score is Quinn Cotton. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Nick Quintana. And now the YD Red Sox hold a 2-1 lead.
Second baseman, number 4, Christian Cox from Cal Irvine.
Nobody else moving up on the sac fly, though, so still runners at first and second for Christian Cox. His 2 runs have come across to score here against Cade Cavalli. Only one of them earned, though, because the error from Reese Albert moved Quinn Cotton, or excuse me, the error in which Reese Albert reached moved Quinn Cotton along, as did the error from from Drew Millis when Johnny DeLuca was at the plate. So because those errors moved Quinn Cotton along the base paths, Quinn Cotton's run will not be earned, although dash box is. Oh, and 1 the count here to Cox, who is 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to Saheed Valenzuela at second base in the second inning. Try to do something a little bit more productive here with the ball. Still only 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Cavalli, pitch was one in the dirt, check swing. Peeled down to the first base umpire. He did not go around. So a good job from Christian Cox to hold up. Doesn't look like Don Snedden's all too happy with that call as he stands up from the bucket he sits on behind the screen protector in the Gatemen dugout. 1-1 the count to Cox. As at first and second are Albert at second and Johnny DeLuca at first, both with speed. 1-1 inside, 2-1 now. Cavalli had looked excellent through the first 3 innings of work. He'd gone 3 innings, given up just 1 hit. He had struck out 3, but has really fallen apart after hitting Andrew Dashbach with the second pitch of the 4th inning. Ground ball hit to the right side of the infield, left side I should say. Ryan Kryler's throw is in time. Lyle Lockhart had to make an awkward stretch, but there was not going to be a play at second, excuse me. So they'll settle for just 1 out, but both runners move up. A pretty productive out for Christian Cox. 6-3 on the put out. Now both runners are in scoring position. 2 gone for Vito Freisha. Freisha, the catcher out of Hofstra, 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging to lead off the 3rd inning. Big dude. Fouls one off, back and right. Down first base side. Freisha 6'3", 225 out of Valley Stream, New York, and Valley Stream Central High School. 0-1 inside, 1-1 now to the big catcher. Second best average in the Colonial Athletic Association this season at .353. Johnny Bench Award watch list for the top catcher in college baseball. The numbers have translated here on the Cape, coming into this game hitting .333 in limited action. Right-hander Cavalli delivers one low, 2-1. Now 3-1 to Freisha. So just 1 pitch out of the strike zone away from walking the bases loaded, and it would give way to the top of the order and David Hamilton, who is now combined 0 for 6 in his first 2 games on the Cape League, or on the Cape, in the Cape League, I should say. Made his debut yesterday for YD. Pitch from Cavalli is swung on, popped up, back and right again. Over the first base stands. Count now full, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes to count. Vito Freisha strides in. Kate Cavalli trying to get out of this inning. Just 2 runs across to score, although there are 2 in scoring position against him. 3-2 is swung on, popped up right side. Lyle Lockhart runs out of room down that first base side. We'll do it again at 3-2. I think it's been Cade Cavalli's fastball command that has really plagued him here, not to mention a pair of errors from the Gatemen in the field. 1 charge to Sahid Valenzuela, 1 charge to Drew Millis. Those have really fueled the fire here for YD, similar to what happened last night for the Gatemen, in which 2 errors were a part of that 9-run third, and now a walk to Vito Freisha. Fastball misses up above his head. The bases are loaded with 2 outs for David Hamilton, and now Jim Lawler is going to come out and have a chat with the right-hander, Cade Cavalli, on the mound, maybe even make a change here. We haven't seen a ton of action in the Gatemen bullpen. And it is a left-hander coming up, David Hamilton. Not too many left-handers in the Wareham bullpen, and this will not be a change, as Jim Lawler will head back to the mound, back to the dugout away from the mound. Cade Cavalli will stay on the bump. He's done well against Hamilton thus far. He's gotten to go 0 for 2, light out to center in the first, and then grounded out 3 unassisted to Lyle Lockhart on a nifty little play in the third. Right-hander Cavalli stares into the catcher, Drew Millis, trying to deal with David Hamilton. Probably the fastest player on this YD team, had 31 steals this season at the University of Texas. One of the faster guys probably in the Cape League, to be completely honest with you. 1-0 the count to him here. The pitch misses inside, 2-0 now. This inning started with a hit by pitch for Andrew Dashbach. Single from Quinn Cotton. Reese Albert reached on an error to load the bases. And Cotton came in to score. Dashbach came in to score on the DeLuca error, the error from Drew Millis that allowed DeLuca to reach. The sac fly from Nick Quintana brought Cotton in to score. Christian Costin grounded out 6-3. Vito Friesha walked, and that leads us to where we are now. 2-1 count with 2 outs to David Hamilton. Gatemen coming into this one at 12-6. This is their 19th game of the season. Hamilton to the right side. It's going to be a foot race. Throw over to Cavalli just barely in time. Hamilton has plus speed down the base paths, but lucky for Lyle Lockhart and Cade Cavalli, they hook up for a 3-1 putout to end the 4th inning. But not before the YD Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. An RBI reaching on an error for Reese Albert and an RBI sacrifice fly for Nick Quintana have the YD Red Sox out in front 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th on WCTV. Bottom of the 4th inning, Gatemen now down 2-1 after a 2-run top half for the YD Red Sox. Lyle Lockhart will try to get things going here for Wareham. He is 0 for 1 today against the left-hander from Michigan on the mound, Tommy Henry. First pitch of the 4th to Lockhart. Fastball called strikeout or half, 0-1. Lockhart, a dominant lefty, or lefty dominant, I should say. Switch hitter, though, batting from his weaker right side against the left-hander Henry. This one, though, didn't have any problems handling it from the right side into left field and down for a base hit. Lyle Lockhart in with the 3rd Gateman hit of the day. The other 2 coming in the last inning. Was part of an inning in which the Gatemen took a 1-0 lead before YD jumped on top of Cade Cavalli in the 4th. But Wareham out to a good start here. Runner on at first with nobody out for Pavin Parks, another good hitter. This one batting from the left side. First pitch from Henry to Parks, misses outside, 1-0. Parks 0 for 1 today, grounded out to the first baseman Andrew Dashbach in the 2nd inning. Left-hander from Kent State hit a home run last night in the 17-4 fiasco at McKeon Park. The win for Wareham that gave them a pretty comfortable lead, a 3-point lead in the West Division. Hyannis tonight out at White House Field against the Harwich Mariners, the East leading Harwich Mariners. 2-0 check swing. This is outside, 3-0. Hyannis up 2-0 against the Mariners. Should say they are in second place in the East Division behind these YD Red Sox. So Harbor Hawks bouncing back nicely after a tough loss last night. Now a 4-pitch walk to Paven Parks. We saw Kate Cavalli start to struggle with location in the last half inning. Now Tommy Henry issues a walk of the 4-pitch variety. Now runners at first and second for Ryan Kreidler. Taking a look at a couple of other games going on around the league. The Katuitt Kettleers, a 3-2 lead over the Chatham Anglers. That one already in the top of the 8th. Hyannis, of course, the 2-0 lead at the top of the 5th. Meanwhile, Bourne Braves tied with the Orleans Firebirds out at Eldridge Park in Orleans. 3-2, a lead for the Bourne Braves. And then a 2-2 ball game out in Falmouth. Brewster trying to snap a Falmouth winning streak that has really surged them up the West Division standings. Henry steps off, looks around a couple of times, but nothing doing. Ryan Kreidler, the right-handed hitting shortstop in the batter's box. Out of UCLA, he's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to the third baseman Quintana in his first at-bat. Shows bunt here, pulls it back. Pitch misses low, 1-0. Gatemen willing to play small ball here with not a ton of speed on the base paths, and Lockhart at second and Paven Parks at first base. Kreidler looks like he'll try to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Move up 2 into scoring position with Isaac Collins in the on-deck circle. Throw back, Lockhart back in plenty of time. As the second baseman, Koss, came over to cover. Christian Koss out of UC Irvine. Prizing the middle infield today with David Hamilton out of Texas. Kreidler tries to lay one down, but it gets foul. Had he straightened that one out, would have been a decent bunt. Maybe a tough play for the third baseman Quintana coming in. But it's for naught. 1-1 the count. Vito Freesia now going to come out and have a chat here with Tommy Henry. Discuss things, figure out how they're going to attack Ryan Kreidler here. Maybe how the strategy changes with him trying to lay down a bunt. Gatemen haven't been terribly successful in sacrifice situations this season, although there really haven't been many of them for Wareham, especially in the early part of the season with the Team USA guys in the lineup. Don Sneddon, I should say, electing to let the bats fly for Wareham. Kreidler again showing bunt. Again, he tries to get one down, and he fouls it off once more. So now 1-2 the count. Kreidler will now have to swing away. And this is always an interesting situation in baseball when you get 2 strikes on you when you're trying to bunt, because then you have to swing away, almost definitely. But your mindset coming into the at-bat is, I'm going to lay down a bunt, I'm going to lay down a bunt, I'm going to lay down a bunt, and all of a sudden, now you got to swing and protect the plate with 2 strikes. Always a tough situation for a batter to be placed in. 1-2. Swung on, but not a tough situation for Kreidler. He ropes one into left field for a hit. Lyle Lockhart waved around third. He will score standing up, and we've got a tie ball game at Spillane Field. It's now 2-2. Ryan Kreidler delivers in a big way, an RBI single for him. Lockhart in to score from second. Paven Parks up to second base. Ryan Kreidler now on at first, still nobody out for Isaac Collins. Collins 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging to end the second inning. Try to get back to what he did yesterday, and a very productive day at the plate for him. Now the YD pitching coach will come out and have a chat with the left-hander Tommy Henry on the mound. We'll have to wait and see if there is a pitching change here. The entire infield has come in, so nobody warming seriously in the YD bullpen. So it does look like Tommy Henry will stay in the game, although there is now a right-hander starting to fire out in the left field corner near the foul pole. But this conference just seems to be not only how are we going to attack Isaac Collins and Skylar Hunter and Jeremy Idens and the next couple of guys in this lineup, but also how are we going to play them defensively? Because now that you got runners at first and second, it becomes a little bit of a different ball game. And now apparently they are going to make the change here. Trenton Delholm will come in and pitch. It's a long conference on the mound to all of a sudden decide that you are going to make the change. So, interesting bit of strategy, I suppose, here. Maybe trying to throw the Gatemen off their momentum, but it will be Trenton Delholm, right-hander out of UC Irvine, into the game for YD. Denholm has been excellent, has been excellent this season for the Red Sox. 2 games, 4 1/3 innings. He's given up just 1 hit, hasn't allowed a run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. And it's impressive even more because he struggled a little bit this season as a freshman at UC Irvine. 4.72 ERA, 15 starts, so was a starter as a freshman coming out of the bullpen here on the Cape. 74 1/3 innings, gave up 83 hits, 49 runs, 39 of them earned, 25 walks, 48 strikeouts. The batting average against it, 291. With a 5'11", 180-pound right-hander out of El Dorado Hills, California, and Oak Ridge High School. So the day is done for Tommy Henry. After 3+ innings, has yet to record an out in this inning. He has given up 4 hits now. So far, 2 runs, both of them earned, but the runners on base are both his responsibility, and he does have 4 strikeouts on the day. So Isaac Collins now will have to change his strategy as well. He was originally going to come in and be a right-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher in Tommy Henry. Now he'll have to flip to the other side, be a left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher in Denholm. As we mentioned, Collins comfortable batting from both sides. Hit from both sides in 1 inning yesterday. In the 3rd inning, a right-handed double off the left-hander Jordan Fowler, and then later in that inning, as he came to the plate again, a right-handed walk against Kyle Kemp. That walk came against Zach Cohn yesterday. As Denholm finishes up his warm-up tosses here at Spillane. Quinn Cotton had been having a conference with his fellow outfielders out in center. But now it looks like we're ready to go. I'll set the scene for you once again after that break. Runners at first and second. Haven Parks at second base. Ryan Kreidler at first. Still nobody out. Kreidler just delivered an RBI single that plated Lyle Lockhart, who had singled earlier in the inning. 2-2 the score, nobody out, top 4. Right-hander Denholm to the switch hitter batting left, Isaac Collins. Ready to resume play here on WCTV. Throw back. Haven Parks has to scramble in. Second baseman Koss is arguing that he never even touched the bag. It's tough to dive in headfirst on this stone dust. You get stopped before you even get started at some points, but he really had to scramble, eventually found his way back, and now Koss disagrees with it. So does the YD manager, Scott Pickler. He'll come out and have a chat with the base umpire. Not too pleased. Looks relatively steamed, to be completely honest with you. But the umpire has held his ground the whole way. Pretty animated here. Hard to see from up here just how heated it is getting, but there have been a lot of hand motions out of Pickler. Now he's shaking his head and up and down. That's never a good sign. Really letting the base umpire have it. And if you're a Pickler here, you got to wonder, your guy coming out of the bullpen hasn't even thrown one pitch. You're already getting this heated. He will retreat back to the dugout now, though. So, mini tirade over from Scott Pickler. We don't have a Chad Gassman situation on our hands. Hyannis manager ejected here at Spillane earlier in the week. Excuse me, 2 weeks ago now. End of last week. So now we'll finally get this Isaac Collins at bat going. Trenton Denholm is still yet to throw a pitch. The right-hander out of UC Irvine. Here it is finally. Collins squares to bunt. Pulls it back though. And unlike Kreidler, who has decent speed on the base paths, Collins is a blazer. He can really get down the line quickly, especially out of the left-handed batter's box. So he is trying to sacrifice here, but should he put down a good enough bunt, he might be even able to get on with a bunt single and load the bases up. See if he squares again here. It looks like that's the way Don Sneddon has wanted to play this inning. First pitch from Denholm. Collins does square to bunt, completely misses. Now the throw back to second base. Second base and shortstop run into each other. David Hamilton and Christian Kotz both went to cover the bag. Nobody was even close to tagging Pavin Parks, who slid back in headlong. So after that little bit of an odd play, still 1-1 to Isaac Collins. Was 0 for 1 today, as we mentioned, with a strikeout swinging. It's Tommy Henry from the right side in the second. Another bent attempt. This one flips off his foot. So now he will move up to first base. A mental error as well as a physical error there from Denholm. All you got to do if you're Denholm is just throw the ball to the bat. They're giving you an out. There's still nobody out here with the bases loaded. In the bottom of the fourth inning with Skylar Hunter coming to the plate. He is also 0 for 1 today. So Pavin Parks at third, Ryan Kreidler at second, Isaac Collins at first. For Skylar Hunter, still nobody out, and a great opportunity for the Gatemen to add on and try to take the lead here, tied 2-2 with the YD Red Sox. First pitch from Denholm to Hunter is whipped on a miss behind the fastball on the outer half. 0-1. You know about the average struggles, the lack of average for Skylar Hunter coming into this game hitting 140, but he's also struck out a ton. 18 strikeouts this season, number 19 coming in his last at bat. This one though sliced down the left field line, but foul, and it's quickly 0-2 against it. He's only played in, now this is his 18th game, so he's averaging more than one strikeout a game, and he didn't strike out yesterday in his one plate appearance, so that number even goes further up. Strikeouts have been a problem this year, and now Denholm is one strike away from doing it again against Skylar Hunter. Fastball outside, 1-2 now. Pretty gutsy take as the strike zone on the outer half to left-handed batters has been pretty expanded, for the home plate umpire. To the count to Hunter, still nobody out. Bottom four. Gatemen trying to break a 2-2 tie. Pitch to Hunter, waved on and missed. Nice breaking ball on the outer half. Strikeout number 2 on the day for Hunter. And the first strikeout for Trenton Denholm out of the bullpen. That'll give way to the top of the order, and Jeremy Idens, right-handed hitting left fielder today out of UCLA, is walked in both his plate appearances in this game. Scored a run back in the third on an RBI single from Austin Shenton. First pitch to him this time around. Good stop by Freesia behind the plate to keep all three runners put at their bags. 1-0. Idens had 19 walks this season at UCLA. Pretty good walk numbers for him this year on the Cape. Smith is inside. 3 walks in 11 games for him. The on-base percentage at .385 with the batting average at .326. Finds his way on base quite a bit. The count to him here. The pitch from Denholm misses low. It's now 3-0, so 1 pitch away from bringing in a run on the walk and giving the Gatemen the lead. Idens has to be taking all the way here. Denholm looks back at second. Kreidler creeps back toward the bag, and now he'll step off. Not sure why Denholm is concerned with the runner at second, considering there is a runner in front of him, so Kreidler can't move anywhere unless Haven Parks does the same at third. 3-0 from Denholm. Inside, calls a strike actually. Idens looked like he had to bend out of the way pretty heavily there. Suppose he tried to sell it, sold it to me up here in the left field booth, but it's now 3-1. Give credit to Denholm, locating the fastball nicely there. 3-1 pitch called strikeout or half. Now 3-2. He's battled back and run the count full. Full count 3-2 to Idens. Bases loaded. Still nobody out here for the Gatemen. Pitch from Denholm is waved on and missed. Big strikeout for Trenton Denholm. Strikeout number 2 for him. Now 2 outs for Zahid Valenzuela. So the Gatemen have tied this game up, but Trenton Denholm has come out of the bullpen. Looked great through 2 batters, or 3 batters now. Hit Isaac Collins to load the bases, but since then 2 strikeouts of Skylar Hunter and Jeremy Idens. First pitch to Valenzuela, outside, 1-0. Switch hitter batting left for the first time today. He is 1 for 2. Lined out sharply to shortstop in the first, and then singled in the third. To him. Outside. Looked like the changeup just missed the outer half. 2-0. Valenzuela trying to break this 2-2 tie here. Setups on the outside corner. The pitch. Slashed foul down the left field line. Out of play, so now 2-1. Two and 1 the count to him. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Denholm in a huge situation here. 19-year-old from UC Irvine. 2-1 is roped over the head of Christian Goss and into center field a hit. Hart scores from third, Kreidler into score from second, up to second base on the throw is Zahid Valenzuela. 2 RBIs for the Cal State Fullerton Titan, and it's a 4-2 lead for the Gatemen. We'll have to see whether they score that a single or a double for Zahid Valenzuela. So he was moving on the throw into third base, so Isaac Collins is in at third. Zahid Valenzuela in at second. He picks up 2 RBIs and now a 4-2 lead with the best hitter on the Cape in Austin Shenton coming to the plate. They will score to single. Zahid Valenzuela advancing to second on the throw, or at least that's what they originally scored it. They actually scored it as a single. So they will score it as Zahid Valenzuela. A single advances to second on the throw. Isaac Collins up to third on the throw as well. They're offering Austin Shenton a free pass, or issuing, I should say, Shenton a free pass. Central base on balls. Gatemen now bringing the 9th batter of the inning to the plate, with Drew Millis batting from the left side for the first time today, the switch hitting catcher out of Missouri State.
Andrew Millis from Missouri State.
Millis 0 for 2 today. Reached on an error back in the first inning and then grounded into an inning-ending double play in the third, 4-6-3 to Christian Cox. He's got the bases loaded here. Good opportunity to pick up his first RBI of the season. One of just a couple of guys that have seen a bit of playing time for the Gatemen that have still yet to pick up an RBI. 0-1 to him. This is low. Good stop by Freesia behind the plate. Gian Martellini has had just 3 at-bats this season, and Cade Cavalli, tonight's pitcher, has had just 1. They are the only other 2 Gatemen that have hit this season that have not driven in a run. This one hit right on the ground to second base. Christian Koss flipped to shortstop. And the RBI drought continues for Drew Millis. The Gatemen leave them loaded in the 4th, but they do score 3 runs to retake the lead. It's now 4-2 Wareham as we head to the top of the 5th on Wareham Community Television. Pitching change for the Gatemen here in the top of the 5th inning. The right-hander from Florida State, Tyler Ahern, will come in to relieve Cade Cavalli. First batter, he'll face Noah Campbell, the switch-hitting DH batting left from South Carolina. In the first pitch of the day for Ahern is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Second appearance of the season for Ahern. Pitched on Tuesday at McKeon Park versus Hyannis. Went 1 inning. Nothing across against him. No runs, no hits, no walks, no strikeouts. Struggled a bit this season as a freshman at Florida State. 5.50 ERA, 11 relief appearances for him. Went 18 innings, gave up 14 hits, 11 earned run, 18 walks, and 13 strikeouts. So the walk to strikeout ratio not great for him. So he has gotten into trouble in that regard, but he did just hit 219. Or opponents hit just 219, against him. They're in 1 the count to the first batter Ahern has faced in Noah Campbell, and now he's going to issue a walk to him. Lead-off walk on just 5 pitches. So Campbell is on with good speed at first base for Andrew Dashbach. Dashbach today, 0 for 1 with a run scored, was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. The first pitch he sees from Tyler Ahern. Called strike on the inner half, 0-1. Now that Ahern's into the game, we can finish up the line for Cade Cavalli. 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. Only 1 earned, though, for Cavalli. 3 strikeouts, along with 3 walks and a hit by pitch. 0-1 the count to Dashbach to pitch. Swung on, fisted foul, back and right. 0-2. Ahern trying to retire. The second batter he sees had retired 3 in a row in his first appearance against Hyannis on Tuesday, but issued a walk to Noah Campbell to let this inning get started. Throw over, but Campbell is back in with a one-handed tag on first base, headlong. Gatemen have done a relatively good job of limiting the offense from Dashbach. He's just romped through the Cape League this season, but didn't play all that well in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Went 0 for 1 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Game 1 of the doubleheader. Nothing special for him either. 2 for 4, double. Run scored. So all in all, they've done a good job of containing the bat of Andrew Dashbach, who, as we mentioned, has run rampant through the Cape League, ran rampant through a very difficult Pac-12 this season as well. It's an all Pac-12 selection, hit 287. With a .579 slugging percentage. The OPS up in the mid-900s. 0-2 against him here. He's done a good job of fighting off a couple of pitches as he ropes this one into shallow left field. Jeremy Idens dives but can't make the play. Skylar Hunter backs him up. Noah Campbell thought about rounding second and heading for third, but this will just go as a bloop single for Andrew Dashbach. And once again, just like the last inning, the YD Red Sox are in business with runners on first and second and nobody out. Dashbach got the last inning started with a hit by pitch, later scored. So he will try to come in to score again. That would mean that either Noah Campbell has been eliminated on the base paths or has scored in front of him, as YD trails 4-2. Now it'll be the shortstop Ryan Kreidler out to talk with Ahern on the mound. Not every day you see a shortstop coming in for a mound visit, but just saw one here at Spillane. Drew Millis gives the signs to his infield. Gatemen are playing up the middle at double play depth, a large gap on the left side of the infield here for Quinn Cotton, who has been a pull hitter in a couple of games we have seen him this season. Tyler shortens that gap up. It's this one fouled on the right field line, 0-1. Cotton today walked and was later picked off at first in the second, then singled and scored a run in the fourth. Hit .390 this season at Grand Canyon. Was absolutely stellar for the Lopes. Pitch out of sorts. Drew Millis thought about a snap throw down to first, but Dashbach in time, and Cotton had also showed bunt. So Lockhart had to move in to try to protect against the bunt, and nobody was going to be there to cover first base. Right-hander Ahern comes set with a 1-1 count to Quinn Cotton. This one hit into the 5.5 hole and through to left field, a base hit. Idens had trouble coming up with it in left field, but Noah Campbell was held up all the way at third base, and now the bases are loaded. Nobody out for Reese Albert. So force out at any base is in effect. Reese Albert, the right fielder from Florida State, standing in. He's 0 for 2 today, although he does have an RBI. Struck out swinging in the second, and then reached on an error. Drove in a run, E4 against Zahid Valenzuela in the fourth. Couple of Florida State teammates going at it, and Reese Albert gets the better of Tyler Ahern here. He drives in a run on a single. Noah Campbell comes in to score. Lead is cut in half for the Gatemen. It's now just 4-3 Wareham. Dashbach up to third. Cotton up to second. Albert standing at first now. So a single, or excuse me, a walk, a single, and a single. The 4 batters that Ahern has faced in this game. Johnny DeLuca strides in. 1 for 2 today, single in the second. He shot an error by Drew Millis in the fourth. Little dribbler that Millis tried to pick out of the air with a bare hand, and then he didn't realize that because he had touched it in fair territory, that it was indeed a fair ball, and DeLuca with good speed down the base paths was able to reach pretty easily. Now Millis is going to come out and have a chat with Ahern. Has still yet to retire a batter through 4 that he's faced so far here in the fifth. And this is a guy, as we mentioned, that had nothing come across against him, in what was a flawless inning of work against Hyannis on Tuesday. Not the same can be said tonight here for the right-hander out of Florida State. First pitch to DeLuca is a good curveball that hits the inside corner and called strike. 0-1. DeLuca, the outfielder from Oregon, playing center field today. We've also seen him in right field for YD. Pitch to him here is waved on and missed. Dipped into the glove of Drew Millis. 2 strikes now. One and two, still nobody out. Ahern needs to deliver an out here in one way or another. The pitch to DeLuca. Fouled off. Nice little kick stop by whoever's sitting on the bucket right in front of the Gatemen dugout down the first base line. Not sure who it was, but it was definitely impressive. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Bases juice for YD. Nobody out. 5th inning. Trying to come back from a run deficit. Broke down the first base line, off the glove of Lyle Lockhart. It is a fair ball, and it will bring a run in to score. We'll see how they score it. Probably an RBI single for Johnny DeLuca. And the hits just keep on coming for YD. They have now tied the ball game at 4 here in the 5th.
The third baseman, number 12,
Cotton up to third. Albert up to second. DeLuca now at first. He picks up an RBI. Albert has 2. DeLuca with 1. Quintana in the batter's box with 1. Sacrifice fly and an RBI in the 4th. This one is shot into center field. Shallow for Skylar Hunter. Coming up throwing, trying to gun down Quentin Cotton. Cotton with good speed. He'll score from third standing up. Another sac fly. This one to center field for Nick Quintana. It's now a 5-4 YD Red Sox lead as Tyler Ahern has finally gotten the first out in this inning, although Quintana does play Quinn Cotton for the second time today, and 2 RBIs for the Arizona Wildcat. It will be a single for Johnny DeLuca. So 4 singles and a walk in this inning for YD. Runners at first and second for Christian Koss, the right-hander from UC Irvine. First pitch to him is fouled off. 0-1. So Ahern has struggled in this half inning, to say the least. Walk, single, 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 sac fly thus far. He's faced 6 batters, retired only 1. Pitch to Koss is swung on and flied out to fairly deep left field. Nidens makes the play. No advance from either runner. There's now 2 gone. Vito Freesia striding in now. Renner's at first and second. He is 0 for 1 today. Struck out swinging in the 3rd and then walked back in the 4th. Walked to load the bases against Cade Cavalli before Cavalli got out of it, giving up just 2 runs with only 1 of them coming earned. This time around. Now it's going to be Andrew Martinez. So Freesia has been removed from the game. Andrew Martinez out of UC Santa Barbara into the game. High school teammate of Jeremy Idens as a pinch hitter. So Freesia's day is done, 0 for 1. First pitch from the right-hander. Ahern to the right-handed hitting Martinez is in there for a called strike. 0-1. Martinez coming into this game hitting .259 in 11 games. 2 doubles, his only extra base hits, 3 RBIs, 4 walks, 9 Ks. Shum here, called outside corner strike, 0-2. Played in both games of the doubleheader. 1 for 2 in game 2. So going 0 for 4 in game number 1. 0-2 the count to him here, 2 outs. Ahern trying to get out of this inning. The pitch upstairs over the head of the right-handed hitting Martinez. 1-2 now. Martinez not a catcher, so we'll have to see who comes in to replace Vito Freesia as defensively, I should say, in the bottom half of this inning when the Gatemen do eventually come to bat. 1-2. Up and in, 2-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second here for YD. Andrew Martinez trying to keep this inning alive. Tyler Ahern trying to end it for the Gatemen. Now time is called by Martinez at the plate. Martinez this season at UC Santa Barbara, just a .244 average as a redshirt freshman. Played 37 games for Santa Barbara. The Gauchos. 2-2. Sprayed down the first base side, gloved, 1 unassisted by Tyler Ahern as he makes the play to end the inning. But 3 runs come across to score against him. A bevy of singles, 4 in the inning for the YD Red Sox. They reclaim the lead. This game continues to go back and forth. It's now 5-4 YD as we head to the bottom of the 5th on WCTV. Defensive replacement to let you know about here for the YD Red Sox is Adam Kerner catches a first pitch strike behind the plate. Vito Friescha was the starting catcher. He was pinch hit for in the last half inning by Andrew Martinez, and now Martinez, an infielder, is replaced by Kerner. 0-2 quickly the count here to Lyle Lockhart Jr. Switch hitting first baseman out of Houston. Gatemen trail at 5-4 here in the bottom of the 5th. After a 3-run top half for the Red Sox. Lyle Lockhart, 1 for 2 on the day. Singleton scored a run in the 4th and then struck out looking back in the 1st. One and two the count. The pitch. Outside. 2-2 now. Lockhart trying to get a little rally going here for the Gatemen, but that won't do it. Waves and misses at a nice pitch. Good breaking ball from the right-hander Denholm. Now one gone for Paven Parks. Denholm came into this game in a pretty tough situation. Came in with the bases loaded. Nobody out. Or excuse me, came in with runners at first and second. Nobody out. Already one run across to score. First pitch to Paven Parks. Misses inside. 1-0. He hit Isaac Collins, then struck out both Skylar Hunter and Jeremy Idens before gave up a single to Sahid Valenzuela that brought 2 runs in to score. That made it, at that point, 4-2 Gatemen, but then Denholm's offense came in and produced well in the 5th. 3 runs coming across to score for YD. Now they hold the lead. So it will go down as a no decision for both starting pitchers. No decision for Kay Cavalli and a no decision for Tommy Henry, the left-hander out of Michigan. 1-2 the count here to Paven Parks, who is 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to the first baseman back in the 2nd, then walked and scored a run in the 4th. As of now, Denholm is in line for the win, but the way the lead has changed hands a number of times today, anything could happen. That likely won't be the case at the end of this game. Count now full to Pavin Parks, who has showed a pretty good eye in his first couple of games with the Gatemen, and he's fitting right into that Gatemen lineup that looks at a lot of pitches, drives the pitch count up high for opposing starters, and gets to the bullpen early. 3-2, fouled off by Parks. Still a full count. 24th round pick of the Padres this season, but said, "Thank you very much, San Diego, but I'd like to go back to Kent State for my final year of eligibility." Fell in love with the coaching staff at Kent State up in Ohio after his first Division I season this past spring. 3-2, called strike 3. Parks had flipped the bat, dropped third strike, so they will have to complete the putout. But strikeout number 4 on the day for the right-hander Trenton Denholm. 2-3 on the putout. Back-to-back strikeouts to start this inning for the right-hander. Now Ryan Kreidler, the UCLA shortstop, will stride in. Kreidler 1 for 2 today. Grounded out to the third baseman Quintana in the third inning. In the second. And then singled home a run in the fourth. First pitch to him here. Breaking ball nearly hits him in the helmet. 1-0. Kreidler trying to get back to early season form. Started his Gateman career here at Spillane with a 3-for-4 day and 3 RBIs. Since then, has cooled off considerably. Hitting under 300 now. 240 coming into this game. 1-1. Inside. 2 balls and a strike. Big, tall lefty from UCLA. Hits one high but foul down the left field line. That'll land on top of Wareham Middle School, and it's 2-2. First 2 down for the Gatemen here in the 5th. Trying to come back once again, trailing now 5-4 here at Spillane Field. Trying to increase the winning streak to 4 games. 2-2 outside. 3-2 now, so another full count to Ryan Kreidler. Pavin Parks got into a full count situation in the last down bat and then struck out looking on a pitch that he certainly thought was out of the zone. 3-2. Swung on and popped up high to the right side of the infield. Christian Koss at second base calls everybody off and camps out underneath it for out number 3. The Gatemen go 1-2-3 in the 5th. YD will try to add to a 5-4 lead as we head to the top of the 6th on Wareham Community Television. Top of the order leads off the top of the 6th here for the YD Red Sox. Trying to add to a 5-4 lead here against Tyler Ahern, who gave up 3 earned runs in the last inning against these Red Sox. First pitch to David Hamilton, misses outside with the speedster showing bunt. It's 1-0. Hamilton is 0 for 3 on the day. Flied out to center field in the first, and then has grounded out twice to first base in his last 2 ABs. Gets a good bunt down, but it will roll foul down the third base side. Maybe the fastest guy in the Cape League is Hamilton. 31 stolen bases for him this season at Texas. 14 a season ago as a freshman in limited action. One the count to him here. See if he's still trying to push a bunt down that third base side. Pitch to him. Called strike as he keeps the bat on his shoulder. 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. Ahern struggled at the beginning of the last inning. Allowed the first 5 runners he saw to reach base. This one flared into left field, but Jeremy Idens, nice little running catch in the corner toward the goalposts here at Spillane Field. There's one out now for Noah Campbell.
Number 14, Noah Campbell.
Campbell got the last inning started, walked and scored a run. In an inning that saw 8 Red Sox come to the plate, the first 5 reached base. Campbell reached via the walk. He's still 0 for 2 today. Grounded out 4-3 to the second baseman Valenzuela in the first. Struck out in the third and then walked and scored a run in the fifth. First pitch to him, misses outside, 1-0. Switch hitter batting left out of the University of South Carolina. 1-0 check swing. Did he go? Field down to the third base umpire. He did. It's now 1-1. Tyler Ahern, the right-hander on the mound from IMG Academy, Jupiter, Florida. 1-1. Just misses the strike zone. Looked like it had the outer half location, but maybe a bit below the knees for the umpire's liking. It's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. The pitch. Low in the dirt. Skips into the glove of Drew Millis behind home plate. It's now 3-1. Campbell walked on a 5-pitch at-bat in his last inning. Or his last at-bat, I should say, excuse me. In the last inning, though. Here comes the 3-1 from Ahern. This one is flared down the first base side. He picks it up again, once again by himself, and tags the bag for out number 1. Or, excuse me, out number 2. It's now twice we've seen Tyler Ahern field his position pretty well, go 1 unassisted. The last out in the 5th inning, and here the second out in the 6th. He's done a much better job here in his second inning of work. Seeing these hitters for the second time, he realizes their tendencies. There's 2 gone for the best hitter on this team, Andrew Dashbach. 1 for 2 today. He scored 2 runs. He's hit by a pitch in the 4th and singled and scored in the 5th. Flied out to left field in his first at-bat in the first, but Dashbach continues to impress here on the Cape. Fouled off. Leaping attempt at a grab from Quinn Cotton. He nearly got up and got it. Right-handed hitter from Grand Canyon in the on-deck circle. On the count to Andrew Dashbach. Tyler Ahern on the mound. Good pitch on the inner half. 1-2 now to the burly right-hander out of Stanford. Led the Cardinal in home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, and total bases this season. He was the do-it-all man. Fouls another one off down the left field line. Still 1-2. Dashbach out of Atherton, California, and Sacred Heart Prep. California boy through and through. 1-2. Outside 2-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Gatemen trying to keep it at just a 1-run lead for the YD Red Sox. As Dashbach skies one into right center field, Skylar Hunter comes in and calls off Isaac Collins to make the play for out number 3. After struggling in the 5th, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Ahern in the 6th. Looked pretty good in this one. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. Gatemen try to dig into a 1-run lead for the YD Red Sox when we come back on WCTV. Isaac Collins leads off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Gatemen. 5-4 YD here in the bottom of the 6th. Tries to bunt one, but fouls it off back over the head of the catcher, Adam Kerner. So 0-1 to him. 0-for-1 today as well as Collins. Struck out swinging in the 2nd before being hit by a pitch by Trenton Denholm back in the 4th inning. He'll swing away here, flares one into shallow left field, but it will get foul and out of play out of the reach of Quinn Cotton, and it's quickly 0-2. To the count to Isaac Collins. Switch hitter batting left, playing right field for the 2nd time this season, 2nd time in 2 nights out of Creighton. Played well yesterday, still hasn't had a ball hit directly to him. Balls hit into the right center field gap have been handled exclusively today by Skylar Hunter, the veteran outfielder, at least in comparison to Collins, has taken charge, as normally a center fielder does, but especially in a situation where Collins has very, very limited experience in the outfield. 2-2. Low to him. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Full count to Collins. Bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch from the right-hander Denholm. Swung on, hit down the third base line, skips into the glove of Quintana. Long throw across the diamond just in time to beat the speedy Collins. It's a pretty good throw across the body for Nick Quintana. Didn't appear that Collins was too terribly pleased with the call, but he will saunter his way back to the dugout. Retired 5-3 on the putout. First pitch to Skylar Hunter is flared foul down the left field line, 0-1. Hunter 0 for 2 today. The strikeout woes continue for him. Pair of strikeouts in his first 2 plate appearances. Strikeouts 19 and 20 on the season. 0-1 from the right-hander. Again fouled off. It's quickly 0-2. Hunter, another switch hitter. 1 of 5 in this lineup for the Gatemen today. Batting from the left side against the right-hander Denholm. The 0-2 pitch. This is outside for a ball, 1-2. Pretty good waist pitch there from Denholm. Just missed the outer half. Hunter known for chasing. 1-2. Swung on and popped up into left field. When Cotton takes a couple of steps back and secures the out. Out number 2 for the Gatemen in the 6th. Give way to the top of the order. Jeremy Idens, the left fielder from UCLA, strides in. Idens 0 for 1 today. Pair of walks and a strikeout for him. Strikeout coming in the most recent at-bat against Denholm in the 4th. One looping breaking ball misses upstairs, 1-1. Idens had been on a pretty tough stretch in the early part of this week. It really all started at YD, but has since turned around as he's hit by a pitch here. On for the 3rd time today, still doesn't have a hit, has barely swung the bat. Swung a couple of times in the first couple of plate appearances, but really hasn't had to do much. YD offering free passes in a couple of different ways to him. So 2 out, hit by pitch as Zahid Valenzuela strides in, trying to keep this inning alive. 2 for 3 on the day, a pair of singles for him. First pitch to him this time is roped down the right field line and in for a base hit. Idens around second, moving up to third. He'll be stopped at third base by the third base coach, Mike Mobbs, but it'll be a double for Zahid Valenzuela. He continues to impress. Now a pair of runners in scoring position for the best hitter on this Gateman team and on the Cape in Austin Shenton. I think the right fielder that time, Reese Albert, might have had a little trouble, so might not be scored a double straight away. We will wait for the exact ruling from our official score today. Shenton, though, the left-hander, was issued a free pass in this exact same situation in the 4th, and it will happen once again here. That is what we call respect, folks. You don't even want to mess with Austin Shenton in this situation. You don't even want to pitch to him. You don't want to pitch around him. You don't want to do anything to him. Just issuing a free pass. So it will be a double to Zahid Valenzuela. His first extra base hit of the day. He's 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. 2 outside, now 3-0. And the 4th one wide. Austin Shenton on with his 2nd intentional base on balls of the day. So now the Gatemen will rely on Drew Millis to try to drive the runs in. And now Scott Pickler will come out and have a chat. And the last time he came out, he lifted his starter Tommy Henry from the game. We'll see if something similar is on the horizon here with the right-hander Trenton Denholm. It does look like Denholm's day is done, so we will see a new pitcher here for the YD Red Sox. Number 29, Chandler Fidel from Arkansas Little Rock. will come in to replace the right-hander Denholm. So all three runners on base, or excuse me, both runners on base, I should say. No, all three runners on base. Had a little bit of a brain fart there. All three runners on will be the responsibility of Trenton Denholm. He has yet to allow an earned run today. All of the runs that had come with him in the game were charged to Tommy Henry. So officially he will go 2 2/3 innings. He has given up 2 hits on the day, a single in the 4th, and then a double here in the 6th. So 2 2/3 and 2 hits. Left-hander from Arkansas, Little Rock, Fidel comes in. Had a 4.02 ERA this season. 16 games, 15 of them starts. 96 in the 3rd innings. He gave up 97 hits, so the hit numbers are high. 45 runs, 43 earned, 21 walks, but pretty good 92 strikeouts in 96 in the 3rd. Opponents hit 261 against him as the Friday starter, the #1 starter for Arkansas Little Rock this year. We'll have to see what he could do here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. It's going to be a tough situation for him to come into, but heck, somebody's got to do it. Why not Chandler Friedel? Austin Shenton at first on the intentional base on balls. Saeed Valenzuela at second with a double, and Jeremy Idens on at third. He was hit by a pitch. That's how he reached. So Drew Millis out of Missouri State strides in. Switch hitting catcher who is 0 for 3 on the day. Reached on an error in the 1st against the shortstop, David Hamilton. Since then he's grounded out 4-6-3 on a double play and 4-6 on a singular out to end the 4th. In a similar situation with the bases loaded, he'll try to do it again here, this time for the right-handed batter's box. Drew Millis batting from the right side. The first pitch from the left-hander Fidel. Breaking ball misses low below the knees, 1-0. As we mentioned, Millis still the only guy on this Gatemen team that has hit in more than 2 appearances that has yet to record an RBI. 1-0. Called strikeout or half, 1-1. Only other guys that have hit at least once this season that have not driven in a run are Cade Cavalli, who has had 1 at-bat, and Gian Martellini, who has had 3. 1-1 the count here. Pitch from the left-hander. Waved on a missed. Good breaking ball from the left-hander Fidel. It's 1-2 now. Fidel out of Garland, Texas, and Naaman Forest High School. One-two from the left-hander. Called strike 3 on the outer half, and the side is retired. The Gatemen lead, the bases loaded. A huge strikeout from Chandler Friedel. As we head to the top of the 7th inning, the YD Red Sox still have a 5-4 lead. They'll try to add to it when we come back on Wareham Community Television. Quinn Cotton leads off the top of the 7th for the YD Red Sox. Takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. Right-hander Tyler Ahern back to the mound. YD with a 5-4 lead over Wareham. Trying to snap a 3-game winning streak for the Gatemen. 1-0 to Cotton, misses upstairs, 2-0 now. Cotton is 2 for 2 on the day. Walked and was picked off at first in the 2nd. Singled and scored a run in the 4th, and singled and scored a run in the 5th inning as well. 2-0. Swung on, roped high and deep into right center field, over the head of Isaac Collins, and Skylar Hunter will roll all the way to the wall. Collins picks it up. Good throw into the cut man, Saeed Valenzuela, but up to second with a stand-up double. It's Quinn Cotton. He leads off the inning with a bang for YD. Reese Albert from Florida State strides in now. A good RBI opportunity for him here. He's already got 2 on the day. Drove in a run when he reached on an error in the 4th, and then drove in another when he singled back in the 5th. He'll put something into the outfield here against Ahern. Good speed on the base pass for Cotton. Could be seeing RBI number 3 for him. First pitch from the right-hander, Ahern. Misses inside, apparently. 1-0. Albert, 1 for 3 on the day. You mentioned reaching on an error and then the single. He also struck out back in the 2nd inning against the Gatemen starter, Cade Cavalli. The 1-0. Lays down a bunt down the first base line. It's a beauty. It will move the runner up to third base. Nice little sack bunt. 1-3 put out for Reese Albert. Works to perfection. Now there's a runner at third. Just 1 out for Johnny DeLuca. DeLuca also having himself a nice day. 2 for 3. Single in the 2nd. Done an error by Drew Millis in the 4th and singled in the 5th. He's got an RBI today. Coming on that single back in the 5th inning. First pitch from Ahern is low to him. 1-0. Luca, the Oregon Duck. Not a big guy, but does have power. Hit 6 home runs this season with Oregon, a freshman record for the Ducks. 1-0. In the dirt and low check swing, appealed down to the third base umpire, did not go around. Top of the 7th, it's Spillane Field. YD in a good position to add to an already 1-run lead. It's 5-4 right now, but Quinn Cotton on at third with good speed. From Ahern, called strikeout or half, 2-1 now. Ball's in a strike. Ahern comes set. Pitch home. Strike 2-2 now. He's battled back from a 2-0 deficit. Nick Quintana is on deck. He will bat if DeLuca can find a way not to produce 2 outs. Schmish is outside, 3-2 now. DeLuca putting together a nice little day for himself. The average will certainly go above 212 after today. Already 2 for 2 as we mentioned. Called strike 3 on the outer half. That'll sit him down. First strikeout of the evening for Tyler Ahern. There's 1 gone, but the threat still on base with Quinn Cotton at third. Nick Quintana coming to the plate. Quintana, the third baseman from Arizona. Pair of sacrifice flies thus far. He still has yet to register an official at bat. Walked, sack fly for him in this game. He's got 2 RBIs. Both sack flies have driven in Quinn Cotton. He'll try to do it again. First pitch from Ahern, called strikeout or half, 0-1. Ahern in his 3rd inning of work. Coming into this inning, he had struggled mightily, giving up 4 runs and 4 hits and 3 earned runs. Another strike though there from the right-hander Ahern. Now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. No, 2 outs. Ahern 1 strike away from getting out of the inning unscathed. Quintana hits one softly to the third baseman. Shenton comes up, throwing, big throw, he got him. A huge play from Austin Shenton and a wonderful inning from Tyler Ahern. He leaves Quinn Cotton stranded at third base after a leadoff double. We are headed to the bottom of the 7th, still just a 1-run deficit for the Gatemen. They'll try to erase it when we come back on WCTV. Lyle Lockhart tries to get a rally going here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Gatemen trail it by 1 here against the YD Red Sox. First pitch from Chandler Fidel to the switch hitter batting right is inside, 1-0. Lockhart 1 for 3 on the day. Another pitch from Fidel. This one in for a strike and a nice breaking ball from the left-hander from Arkansas Little Rock. 1-1. Tall, slender left-hander kicks and fires. Pitch upstairs at the letters, 2-1. Lockhart tried to get a rally going in the 5th, but struck out back in that inning. Nice pitch again from Fidel outside corner, 2-2. The count is even. Balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. Check swing, missed outside, appeal down. No swing, says the first base umpire. 3-2 the count. The left-hander Fidel kicks and fires. Pitch misses low, and it's a walk to Lyle Lockhart. Starts leading off with a good plate appearance, and now Haven Park strides in, the left-handed hitting DH.
Designated hitter number 16, Haven Parks from Kenston.
Haven Parks, the left-handed hitting DH, steps out to get the signs here from Don Sneddon in the dugout. His team trying to climb back into this one, trail by 1. They are in it, but they'll try to tie it up or even take the lead in this inning. Fidel throws over. Lockhart back in, standing up. Parks 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to the first baseman, Andrew Dashbach, in the second. Walked and scored a run in the fourth, and then struck out in the fifth. So 1-0 the count to him here. Now a conference coming from the catcher, Adam Kerner, who we still have not seen come to the plate yet. Kerner will come to the plate in the next half inning. See his first at bat of the day. Ball and no strikes the count. Parks trying to keep this game alive for the Gatemen. Now Tom going to be called, and Scott Pickler is going to come out and have a chat with Chandler Fidel on the mound. To wait and see if there is a change here. Can't imagine there would be. You've already created a lefty-lefty matchup here with Haven Parks. So Pickler coming out having another chat. He's been to the mound a couple of times today. And it looks like they are actually going to call him to the bullpen here. The umpire making the signal down the left field line. So Chandler Fidel's day is done. And in the middle of an at-bat here against Haven Parks, the pitcher coming in is Ryan Nelson out of Oregon. So he will come in mid-at-bat to face Parks. A little bit of a perplexing move here by Scott Pickler and the rest of the YD coaching staff. You had a lefty-lefty matchup against Haven Parks. Now you bring in a right-hander in Nelson. But this is the matchup they wanted, apparently, so they will turn to the right-hander out of Oregon, Nelson. Infielder and right-handed pitcher for the Oregon Ducks. Pretty much only hit this season, or excuse me, only pitched this season for Oregon. He did bat to a 171 average, but that was only in just a couple of plate appearances. On the mound, though, a 3.86 ERA in 16 games, 23 in the third innings. He had 21 hits, 11 runs, 10 earned, 14 walks, 37 strikeouts. A respectable batting average against at .250. Season on the Cape for Nelson. This will be his 5th appearance. Hasn't been a great start for him. 5.40 ERA, 5 innings. He's given up just 1 hit, but walks have been a problem. 4 walks, 3 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, and really any run against a reliever is inflated when it comes to his ERA. So you'll typically see some higher ERAs for guys that can give up some runs as Ryan Nelson comes into the game. Chandler Fidel will go just a third of an inning. The runner on base in Lyle Lockhart is his responsibility. He doesn't give up a hit and strikes out 1. Came on in relief of Trenton Denholm, in the 6th inning. He got Drew Millis to strike out looking, then came in this inning, walked Lyle Lockhart, threw a pitch to Haven Parks that missed the strike zone. So now it's 1-0. It will start all over again. A Ball and no strikes the count to Parks. Lyle Lockhart dug in at first base, being held on by Dashbach. First pitch we see today from Ryan Nelson is a called strike on the outer half, 0-1. Ball and no strikes. The pitch is low and outside. 2-1 now. Haven Parks trying to get this going for the Gatemen in this inning. Waves and misses at a 2-1 pitch. It's now 2-2, so despite coming into this at-bat, already a pitch in, Ryan Nelson has done a good job. Now 2-2 to Haven Parks. Comes the two-strike offering. Hit to the right side of the infield, but fell. Do it again at 2-2. Two and two the count. Parks trying to get it going here for the Gatemen. The pitch again fouled off. Stays alive at 2-2 here in the bottom of the seventh. Two and two the count. Haven Parks, the left-handed batter. Lyle Lockhart at first. The pitch home in the dirt. Not far enough past Adam Kerner for an advance from Lockhart, but nonetheless, it is 3-2. The Gatemen one ball out of the strike zone away from having two runners on. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Pitch home for the right-hander Nelson to Parks. Waved on and missed. A huge strikeout from the right-hander Nelson. Sits down Parks on strikes. First strikeout of the day for him. Now the Gatemen bring Ryan Kreidler to the plate. 1 for 3. He does have an RBI. Try to provide another one here against Ryan Nelson. Pac-12 foes, the Oregon Duck on the mound, the UCLA Bruin in the batter's box. 0-1 the count. This is inside, 1-1 now. Runner at first is Lyle Lockhart. Kreidler trying to break out of a slump here. He has struggled since his first couple of days with the Gatemen when he got off to an incredibly hot start. 1-1. Swung on rope right at the third baseman, Nick Quintana, and across the diamond to double off Lockhart at first base. The Gatemen threat ends quickly against the right-hander Ryan Nelson out of the bullpen. We're headed to the top of the 8th. So the 5-4 lead for YD. They'll try to add to it when we come back on WCTV.
37, Tyler Kaiser from Miami.
Top of the 8th inning from Spillane Field, 5-4 lead for the YD Red Sox over the Wareham Gatemen. New pitcher on the mound for Wareham is the right-hander Tyler Kaiser. He will relieve Tyler Ahern, so from one Tyler to the next. Ahern went 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. He is on the hook for the loss as of now. First batter Kaiser faces is Christian Koss, and the first pitch misses way upstairs. 1-0. Koss today 0 for 3. Been one of just a few YD Red Sox that haven't found their way on base yet today. David Hamilton yet to be on base. Christian Koss yet to be on base, and then Adam Kerner hasn't even had a plate appearance yet, so you can't blame him for not getting on base. 1-1. Pitch misses outside, 2-1. Koss a pair of ground outs to the middle infielders in the 2nd and 4th, and then flied out to left field back in the 5th. This one hit on the ground to another middle infielder, and Ryan Kreidler throw over a little bit high, but Lyle Lockhart with a nice stretch at first makes the play for out number 1. 4-3 on the put out. Now Adam Kerner will finally get a shot at the plate. The third batter, to hit in the 9-hole today. Vito Friescha led it off as the starting catcher. He had 2 at-bats, struck out and walked in back-to-back innings of the 3rd and the 4th. Then in the 5th, Andrew Martinez pinch hit for him. Grounded out 1, assisted to Ahern. And now here in the 8th. Beg your pardon, excuse me. It is finally Adam Kerner's shot. Quickly 0-1 to him as Tyler Kaiser works quickly out of the full windup. Tips the 0-1 into the glove for another strike, 0-2. Kerner this season at .250 out of the University of San Diego. 13th appearance of the season. He's got 7 hits, a double, and a home run this season. Thrown out on a perfect throw from Skylar Hunter in Game 2 of the doubleheader last Sunday, trying to stretch a single into a double at Red Wilson Field. This season at San Diego hit .338 as a freshman. West Coast Conference 2nd team, West Coast Conference all-freshman team. Kerner out of Agora Hills, California, Oaks Christian High School. One of 2 Agora Hills natives on this team. Johnny DeLuca, also out of Agora Hills. 0-2 from the right-hander. Swung on, slap, foul down the left field line. Idens had to give it a chase just to make sure, and it's still 0-2 with 1 out. To the count here to the right-handed hitting Kerner out of San Diego. 37th round pick of the Cardinals last year, coming out of high school, as he lifts one into shallow left field. Idens coming in to make the play, and he slides and makes the catch. What a play from Jeremy Idens. Ends up in foul territory. Not a natural left fielder. Typically plays right or center, but who cares when you can make that kind of play? Snags it on the backhand as he falls to the ground. There's 2 gone. It's a web gem from Jeremy Idens. Absolutely stellar. First pitch to David Hamilton. A called strike from Tyler Kaiser. 0-1. Hamilton 0 for 4 today. Flied out to center, grounded out twice to first base, and then flied out to left. 1 pitch to him, waved on and missed. 0-2. Kaiser working quickly here. We are now at a 3-hour game officially. It is 8:30 here in Wareham. Game starting today at 5:30. 0-2 low, 1-2, and this can't be easy for the Gatemen. Playing this late into the night tonight after playing a 3-hour and 38-minute game last night in Hyannis. The 1-2 to Hamilton. Outside off the glove of Millis, 2-2. Kaiser on the mound has had his ups and downs this season for the Gatemen. Last time out, he really struggled against these very YD Red Sox. Gave up a couple of homers. 2-2. Swung on and hit to the right side and threw into right field. A base hit. That is the second ball we've seen hit at Isaac Collins in the last 2 days. It's a single for David Hamilton as he breaks the over, now 1 for 5 on the day. Going back to Kaiser, 6.23 ERA on the season. This is his 6th appearance, and this is the number that really gets to you. 6 appearances, 5 before this. He's still only gone 4 1/3 innings. 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 2 walks and 8 Ks. So he does have a big right-handed arm as pickoff attempt over. Not in time to get David Hamilton, the speedster, at first. And Hamilton's certainly a threat to run here as YD again tries to add some insurance runs here in the 8th. Kaiser again over, but again Hamilton back in. Pitch inside, throw down from Millis. Still nothing doing with Hamilton. He has a sizable lead at first, and he is toying with Tyler Kaiser on the mound. 1-0 the count. As the right-hander Tyler Kaiser peers in, trying to keep it at just a 1-run deficit here for the Gatemen. Speedster David Hamilton at first, he is off. Throw down from the catcher Drew Millis is through into center field, and Hamilton will move up to third base now. The throw almost comes over the head of Austin Shenton. So moving all the way from first to third on the play, I'd imagine that'll be scored as a stolen base, at least for the move up to second, then possibly an E2 against Drew Millis, which would be his 2nd error of the day. We'll have to wait and see the official scoring decision, but that is my guess. If I were the official scorer, that's how I would score it. 1-1 the count to the left-hander Noah Campbell. This one driven high and deep into right center field, and it'll get down for a base hit. Hamilton scores easily from third. Now Campbell chugging all the way around second, and he will be in with an RBI triple. It's now 6-4 YD after the RBI triple from Noah Campbell. Have to see if that is scored an earned run against Kaiser. They still don't have the fact that Hamilton had moved up. So it will go E2 on the advance to second by Hamilton. And now this one's driven high and deep into right center field. Isaac Collins back, and he makes the play. First outfield putout for Isaac Collins of the season for out number 3. But out before the YD Red Sox tack on another here in the 8th. It's 6-4 Yarmouth Dennis as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Wareham trying to cut into the lead when we come back. First pitch strike from Ryan Nelson to Isaac Collins to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Gatemen down to their last 6 outs here against the right-hander Nelson. Collins comes into this at bat 0 for 2, but he has reached base. Hit by a pitch back in the 4th. No scoring offense since the 4th inning for the Gatemen. Whitey tacked on another run in the last half inning. Top of the 8th to make it 6-4 YD. They try to snap a 3-game winning streak here for Wareham. And elsewhere around the Cape Cod Baseball League, every other game has gone final. The Harbor Hawks with a 2-1 win over the Harwich Mariners. So if the Gatemen cannot come back and do lose tonight, it will just be a 1-point lead heading into tomorrow for Wareham. A couple of other looks around the league. Katuitt a 4-3 win, walk-off style, 11 innings at Lowell Park over the Chatham Anglers. Brewster comes back, beats Falmouth 5-4 at Arnie Allen Diamond in Falmouth. And at Eldridge Park, the Orleans Firebirds a 7-6 win over the Bourne Braves. Soft ground ball hit to the right side off the bat of Collins. Koss over to Dashbach for out number 1. Skylar Hunter now, pinch hitter, or excuse me, the switch hitter, I should say. Batting from the left side against the right-hander Nelson. Jeremy Idens waits in the on-deck circle. See at least these 2 batters in this inning for the Gatemen. Wareham fans hoping for more. First pitch to Hunter misses upstairs and outside as well, 1-0. All no strikes the count. Right-hander Nelson rocks back to the pitch. Low in the dirt, 2-0. Hunter 0 for 3 today. There are strikeouts in the 3rd and the 4th. Flat out to left field harmlessly in the 6th. Trying to get a rally going here for the Gatemen. They put runners on to lead off the last 2 innings, but have done nothing with them. It's been a struggle here for the Gatemen ever since that 4th inning when they scored 3 runs to retake the lead. Since then, YD scored 3 in the 5th to retake it. It's been a back and forth affair. 2-1 fouled off. It's now 2-2 to Hunter. Center fielder out of Purdue. Struggling this season, well under the Mendoza line, especially after this 0 for 3 night. He has just 8 hits and now 61 at-bats. 2-2. Popped up into shallow left field. Shortstop David Hamilton calls everybody else off and makes the play for out number 2. Let's continue for Skylar Hunter. Hasn't been able to get the bat going here on the Cape. All right, for 61 on the season, that's a 131 average. Jeremy Idens now, right-handed hitter from UCLA, strides in. First pitch from the right-hander Nelson in an all Pac-12 matchup. This is upstairs, 1-0. No pitch. Waved on a miss, and it's now 1-1. Idens today has reached base 3 times, none of them by hits, although he was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Walked in the 3rd, walked in the 1st, struck out in the 4th. 1-1. Swung on, roped into center field, down for a base hit. The Gatemen have a little rally going here as Idens will now try to move up to second base. The tag comes in. He is under the tag, so Jeremy Idens legs out a 2-out double. Runner in scoring position now. With one swing of the bat, Zahid Valenzuela could tie this game up. Valenzuela has been the best hitter for the Gatemen today. 3 for 4. After lining out hard to the shortstop David Hamilton in the 1st, he's since singled, and doubled in this game. He is the guy who wanted this at the plate in this situation today. Two outs in the bottom of the 8th. Gatemen trailing by 2. They're into the 4th hour of baseball, I should say, here from Spillane today. I mentioned all other games around the Cape League have gone final. One upstairs, 1-1 now. Valenzuela out of Cal State Fullerton. He had some magic in the Super Regionals. Game 3 of the Super Regionals. Ended up losing to Washington. But they did rally down 2 in the 9th. Valenzuela trying to do something similar here in the 8th as he pumps one down the right field line. Sinking line drive, and it will get down in front of the right fielder. A hit. Jeremy Idens in to score from second. Another RBI for Zahid Valenzuela. He now has 4 hits on the day. 3 RBIs for him, and now it's 6-5. YD. Austin Shenton coming to the plate, and now there's not a free bag to give him, so you probably don't intentionally walk him as he had been in the last 2 at-bats. So back-to-back 2-out hits have Gatemen in business. Down just 1. Best hitter in Austin Shenton at the plate. Pitch from the right-hander, Nelson. Slow and inside, 1-0. As we mentioned, Shenton has been walked intentionally in back-to-back at-bats. Before then, he went 1 for 2. Struck out looking in the 1st and then singled in the 3rd. An RBI single to score Jeremy Idens. The 1-0 from Nelson is swung on and hit to the right side of the infield harmlessly. Koss up on over to first, and Dashbach for out number 3. But the Gatemen do cut into the lead. It's now just a 1-run advantage for the YD Red Sox. Gatemen pitching staff will try to keep it that way as we head to the top of the 9th here on Wareham Community Television. Quinn Cotton from Grand Canyon grounds out to Tyler Kaiser, 1-3 to start the 9th inning. YD Red Sox trying to build on a 1-run lead. The Gatemen trying to keep it that way, keep the deficit as low as possible so they can try to walk it off in the 9th. So one gone quickly on the first pitch of the inning from Tyler Kaiser. Now Reese Albert will step in. Last time these two faced off, well, Albert just took Tyler Kaiser yard in game 2 of the doubleheader against YD last Sunday. Back-to-back Sundays, these teams have squared off. 1-0, called strikeout or half, 1-1. Albert today, 1 for 3, struck out swinging in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, singled and scored a run in the fifth, singled in the fifth, then laid down a sacrifice bunt 1-3 in the seventh. He's got 2 RBIs in the day, 1 in the fourth on the reaching on an error, and 1 in the fifth on the single. Count to him here now is 3-1. Albert, his last at-bat, coming against his fellow Florida State Seminole and Tyler Ahern, but Tyler Kaiser has commanded the fastball pretty well today, I should say. It's now 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. Swung on slash foul into the bleachers on the third base side. Everybody had to get down. Flanged off the bleachers, somehow snuck through toward the school. Count is full. Payoff pitch from Kaiser. Again, slash foul, still 3-2. Johnny DeLuca from Oregon waits on deck. Also hit a home run in the YD win in game number 2 back on last Sunday. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from the right-hander. Outside and high, ball 4. Reese Albert on with a 1-out walk. Give away to Johnny DeLuca. Gatemen will now play it at double play depth up the middle. Kreidler at shortstop, Sahid Valenzuela at second.
The center fielder, number 16, Johnny DeLuca from Oregon.
DeLuca, the switch hitter batting left from Oregon, is 2 for 4 today. First pitch to him, delivers a strike, does Kaiser. 0-1. Single in the second, reached on an error and drove in a run in the fourth. Singled in the fifth and struck out looking in the seventh. 0-1 still forthcoming as Kaiser spins and throws, but back in headlong is Reese Albert. Top of the 9th, 6-5 the lead for YD. Trying to add to it here on WCTV. Right-hander Kaiser, 0-1, hit toward the shortstop Kreidler. Bobbles it at short. Now the throw onto first is not going to be in time. It will likely go as an E6 against Ryan Kreidler. Up to second is Reese Albert. Still just 1 out. Just thought too far ahead that time. Thought, hey, I'm going to get out of this inning. Going to get us out of this inning. And just didn't have the ball in his glove when he went to throw it. It's almost like in football when wide receivers start to run before they even have the ball turn upfield. All of a sudden, ball's not in their hands. Still at double play depth for the Gatemen. Looks like a pinch hitter here for Nick Quintana. Quintana, the right-handed batter, so a left-hander in here. First pitch called strike on the inner half, 0-1. Luke Waddell, the left-handed hitting infielder from Georgia Tech, is the pinch hitter. 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Waddell out of Georgia Tech played in game 2 of the doubleheader last Sunday against Wareham. Swings and Fouls one off. 1-2. Waddell hitting .214 on the season. This is his 16th appearance, 28 at-bats. 6 hits, a double is the only extra base hit, 4 RBIs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. 1-2 the count to him here. 1 out with runners at first and second, trying to add to a 6-5 lead. The pitch from Kaiser. Swung on, slashed down the third baseline and foul. Waddell this season as a freshman at Georgia Tech hit .283 for the Yellow Jackets. Coming on in relief of Nick Quintana, who up to this point had had himself a pretty good day. One-two from Kaiser. Swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Stays on the infield for Lyle Lockhart. He collects the out for out number 2. So now 2 gone and runners at first and second for Christian Koss. So the pinch hit attempt does not work for Waddell. A little surprised they lifted Quintana. He had walked, hit 2 sacrifice flies to center field, and then grounded out in his first couple of plate appearances. Now Christian Koss, the right-handed hitter from UC Irvine, strides in. He's 0 for 4, trying to erase that 0 for here against Kaiser. Pitch from the right-hander is swung on, hit into the 5.5 hole. Diving stop from Austin Shenton, but he will lose it. It'll go down as an infield single. And Shenton had to make a diving stop. It was going to be a tough play either way, but now the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Adam Kerner. Kerner out of San Diego. He's 0 for 1 today. Came in as a defensive replacement for Andrew Martinez after Martinez had pinch hit for the original catcher, Vito Friscia. Kerner flied out into left field in the 8th inning in his lone at bat. Bases are loaded for him here. He could add some serious insurance if he can find a gap in the Gatemen defense. Kaiser comes set, the first pitch. Waved on and missed. Slider on the outer half, nice pitch, 0-1. No balls and a strike. Pitch. Swung on, hit to the right side of the infield. Shenton calls off Kreidler. His throw into first is in time. And the Gatemen leave the bases loaded with YD Red Sox. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. The Gatemen will try to come back and walk it off when we come back on WCTV. Gatemen down to their final 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning from Spillane Field. They trail the YD Red Sox 6-5. Drew Millis, the switch hitting catcher from Missouri State, will bat left and try to get this rally going for the Gatemen. He has been unsuccessful today, 0 for 4 thus far, trying to erase the 0 for against the right-hander Ryan Nelson. First pitch is in the dirt. Know the count. Millis struck out. Reached on an error in the first. Grounded into a double play in the third. Grounded out 4-6 in the fourth, and then struck out looking in the sixth. Last 2 at-bats, both came with the bases loaded. A little less pressure on him here. 1-0. Up high, 2-0. Probably even more pressure on him here, actually. Trying to reach base here with the Gatemen down to their final 3 outs. But he is in a hitter's count, 2 balls, no strikes. And look, 1 pitch, 1 location here. 2-0 the count, the pitch. Called strike, 2-1 now. Outfield playing fairly deep for Millis. Hasn't shown off any power on the Cape, but did have a pretty good season at Missouri State where he hit 7 homers. 2-1. Flashed foul again. We'll get out of play, even though Quinn Cotton did trot over to at least take a look at it. Ryan Nelson, the right-hander from Oregon. He's finished off the last 2 innings after coming on in relief with a runner on at first and nobody out in the 7th inning. Gave up 1 run in the 8th. Trying not to do the same here in the 9th. 2-2. Pitch. Swung on, popped up again, foul. Count holds even. Millis coming into this game hitting .241. 0 for 4 is not going to help it, but that can all be erased from the minds of Gatemen fans if he delivers here. Nelson steps off the bump now, regroups. Two and two the pitch. Swung on, fouled off once again, this time down the right field line out in front of a breaking ball. Still 2-2 now. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The bottom of the 9th. Millis trying to get a rally going here for the Gatemen. Lyle Lockhart waits in the on-deck circle. 2-2. Swung on and flied into shallow right center field. The center fielder DeLuca calls off the right fielder Reese Albert. There's the first out of the inning. So the woes at the plate continue for Drew Millis. 0 for 5 today.
First baseman, number 18,
Now Lyle Lockhart Jr. will come in. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Struck out looking in the first, singled and scored in the fourth. Struck out swinging in the fifth and reached on a walk in the 7th. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Lockhart, the switch hitter batting left. Strike 0-1. Three hours and 32 minutes, the elapsed time thus far of this game. Even trying to make a comeback here. 0-1. Owen inside. 1-1 now. Lockhart has turned it on of late. Reached base 5 times yesterday. Pair of hits, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch. He will try to keep it going here. Pitched twice today. He's been sat down twice. Chitter batting left. 1-1. And then 2-1. Lockhart has shown a great eye at the plate coming into this game. The average was at just 250, but the on-base percentage was at 438. 6 walks in 8 games, add another one to that total tonight. Now 7 walks in 9 games. He'll try to make it at the very least 8 and 9 is now a fastball called strike on the inner half. Lockhart tried to sell it by bending out of the way, but it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Right-hander Nelson comes set, belt high. 2-2. Swung on, hit to the right side of the infield, in fair territory. At least it looked that way. Now it's going to be called foul by the first base umpire. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lockhart staying alive, keep the Gatemen's chances alive. Down to their last 2 outs here in the 9th. Warm day has cooled off considerably here at Spillane Field. Now the pitcher Ryan Nelson will ask for a new ball. Right-hander from Oregon has looked pretty good through 2 1/3 innings thus far, although he did give up a couple of 2-out hits in the last inning to let the Gatemen climb within 1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. Fouled off into the chain link fence, and again, the Gatemen hitters at the very least are showing a lot of fight here. Two and 2 the count, 1 out. Lockhart standing in from the left side of the batter's box. The right-hander Nelson comes home. This is outside now, 3 and 2. Haven Parks is on deck. Showed off some power last night. Two-run homer in the 9th inning yesterday. He gets to the plate with a runner on. He'll try to do it again tonight. 3-2. Swung on, fouled off, and Lockhart stays alive. Full count. Now an 8-pitch at bat here for Lyle Lockhart after Drew Millis also saw a full count. First at bat in this inning. Right-hander Nelson again. Another payoff pitch. Here it comes. Inside, he walked him. Tying run is on at first base for Haven Parks.
Designated hitter number 16, Haven Parks from Kent State.
Six to 5 the lead for the YD Red Sox over the Wareham Gatemen here from Spillane Field. Haven Parks trying to be the hero here for the Gatemen. Tying run, and Lyle Lockhart is on at first base. First pitch from Nelson is swung on and golfed high and into shallow right field. The second baseman Kotz is underneath it, and the Gatemen are down to their final out. Now a pinch hitter coming in. You saved Oliver Dunn, the left-handed hitting second baseman, to come in and pinch hit here. Dunn on the season has struggled, hitting just 100 in 12 games. He will try to deliver here with the runner on at first as the game-tying run. He does have a home run this season, back in game number 1 against Chatham, the season opener. First pitch to Oliver Dunn is inside, 1-0. Reidler, the shortstop from UCLA, has been lifted from the game. Oliver Dunn from Utah has been inserted in his place. Runner at first is Lyle Lockhart. Gatemen down 1, the pitch. Low, 2-0 now. Isaac Collins in the on-deck circle. The count to Oliver Dunn. Lockhart on at first, being held on there by the first baseman Andrew Dashbach. 2-0 pitch from Dunn to Dunn is high, 3-0 now. Dunn representing the game-winning run at home plate. The game-tying run is on at first in the form of Lyle Lockhart Jr. Isaac Collins is in the on-deck circle. Switch hitter will bat left should Ryan Nelson stay in the game, or another right-hander comes in. 3-0, 2 outs. Oliver Dunn trying to reach base in any way he can. The on-base percentage is at 289 despite the 100 average. Get me over fastball does its job. It's now 3-1. Dunn had a great season this year at Utah. Trying to have it carry over at least in this at-bat for the Gatemen. 3-1. Swung on and popped up into shallow left field. But Cotton camps underneath it, and this one is over. The Gatemen with a valiant effort. At the bottom of the 9th inning, Lyle Lockhart gets on as the game-tying run, but they cannot push him across to score. In the end, it's a big 5th inning for the YD Red Sox that makes the difference. 3 runs in the 5th for YD, as well as one run in the 8th that proved to be the winning run. RBI triple from Noah Campbell, scored David Hamilton, and this game ends with a 6-5 win for the YD Red Sox. Wareham falls to 12-7 on the season. They are now just 1 point in front of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks for first place in the West. Meanwhile, YD moves to 10-6-2 on the season. They are the leaders in the East Division. That'll do it from Spillane Field. For everybody here on the WCTV broadcast, I'm JD Rachu saying so long. Once again, the final score: the YD Red Sox 6, Wareham Gatemen 5.